What was that? Oh, okay. It's high school football on ESPN3. Welcome to Jacksonville EverBank Field, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's the 2017 Blue-Gray All-American Bowl featuring some of the best talented high school players in America. I'm Rick Sassone along with Ron Hahn and Mercedes Owens. Ron, what a great day for this game.
It is fantastic. It's a little humid, but guys are getting out on the field and they look excited.
Yeah, I'll tell you, a little drizzle this morning, overcast when we got out here. There was fog on the river, but the sun is shining now and we're ready to go. Now, in All-Star games, typically there's special rules put in place, and there are in this game as well. 16-minute quarters give the players a little more playing time, equal time on offense and defense. There you see some of the rules, regulations. Onside kicks only allowed in the final 6 minutes. Kickoffs must be returned. No blitzing or stunting, Ron, typical of an All-Star game.
Yeah, with high school all-star games, they adopt some of the college rules because most of these guys are going to go on to play college football, like being able to bring the ball out of the end zone on a kickoff or a punt. You can't do that in high school. And then there's some safety issues that they want to address as well because these teams have only practiced together for a couple of days. So blitzing and stunting.
Now here's Jatara, national singer, local Jacksonville artist, our national anthem. One of the highlighted players today on the blue All-American squad, number 34 running back, Ivory Kelly Martin. He's 5'11", 195 out of Oswego East High School in Illinois. An Iowa commit, so you make it go into Iowa, Ron. You got to be a pretty good football player.
Yeah, they play great football up there in Illinois. That upper Midwest, you know, you've got tough kids that play in the cold. They're, you know, tough, big, strong kids. In Iowa, you know, if you have an opportunity to go play for Coach Ferentz out in Iowa, you've done a pretty good job, because that's probably one of the most consistent programs in the country, and certainly in the Big Ten.
One of the highlighted players on the gray team, keep an eye on Joseph Brunell, quarterback right here in Jacksonville, Episcopal High School, going to Georgetown, 6'2", 195. And if you recognize the name there on your screen, Brunell, it is Mark Brunell's son.
Yeah, he's going to Georgetown, and Georgetown not only is it has some football history, but they are, you know, they're a Patriot League team. They play against Holy Crosses. They even play against a lot of the Ivy Leagues. They are an upper echelon school as far as academics are concerned. So just being able to go there and be a student athlete is a significant accomplishment for that young man. You know,
as I mentioned in the open, Ron, it ended up being a beautiful day here. It looks like it's getting a little cloudy, which I'm sure the players won't mind, kind of cool things off a little bit here. But a beautiful facility, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars EverBank Field, right here nestled on the bank of the St. Johns River.
Yeah, if you don't like the weather here, I guess you just have to wait a minute, literally, because it was sunny 5 minutes ago. It was raining 2 hours ago. I think we had fog. I think it may have snowed at one point even.
Mercedes, take it away down on the field.
Well, hey guys, like Rick said, I'm going to be joining you from the sidelines, bringing you interviews from both players and coaches, and we'll even have a few special guests, so stay tuned. We're going to have a lot of fun down here. Back to you guys.
Okay, we're ready for the kickoff now. Brent Wallace, 6'1", 170, out of Alabama, is going to kick it off. Back deep is number 6, Jared Zimmerman, and Justice Stokes. So we get ready, and we're underway. The 2017 Blue-Gray All-American Bowl. It's going to be Stokes, drops it. Stokes fumbles it around, maybe a little nerves. Stokes is going to get hemmed up and go down, and it'll be 1st and 10 on the 11-yard line.
You know, in high school football, we kick off from the 40, so I think for these guys, for the kickers especially, you know, it's a very subtle difference, but kicking off from the 35, it makes it a lot harder to get in the end zone. And not to mention, with the kickoff team, they've got to get down there and make a tackle or make a play like they just did there, because guys are going to bring it out of the end zone.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the blue squad. And number 15, Anthony Butler, is at quarterback, 2 backs in the backfield. There's a handoff straight ahead, and there's good defensive pressure wrapped up. The ball carrier was Ivory Kelly Martin, we talked about at the open.
Yeah, even more typical of these games, you know, they're only able to practice together for a couple of days, so putting in any sort of intricate system, you know, they have to stay pretty basic on both offense and defense, and as you saw there, they came out in just a typical 4-4 cover 3, and it seemed to work out pretty well for them.
So it looked like he lost 2 yards. It's going to bring up 2nd and about, actually 12, it looks like.
Looks like we've got a little miscommunication down there.
Yeah,
on the field.
I see that, and I see it kind of like a shotgun pistol formation. Ron, what would you call this?
Yeah, that's a typical. That's more of a pro formation. They're coming out with 3 receivers and 2 backs and a quarterback. What's just a little different about it is they're coming out in shotgun. So, you know, you can do a myriad of things out of that, but it's a pretty standard football formation, I think, these days.
Ivory Martin gets the carry again, bangs out over the 25-yard line, picked up about, looks like 6 yards. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 5 now for the blue team.
Oh boy, it looks like the gray team's making a couple of substitutions there on defense. Looks like they're going to go into more of a pass-heavy defense, because they brought the big boy number 92 out.
So Butler is a quarterback, takes the snap. He's going to roll out. Good play action fake. Butler rolling to the left. He's being chased towards the sideline. Skips out of bounds. Might have got about a yard, so it's going to bring up a punting formation now. And we'll get our look at Bill Rubright, who's the punter for the blue squad out of Marist High School in Georgia.
You know, these games are always hard to. It's always hard in football to get an offense together because the defense always clicks a lot sooner than the offense, and of course that's going to be even more true in an all-star game where you're bringing guys together from all over the place. And then really probably the biggest factor I think in an all-star game is what happens on special teams. Because special teams takes a long time to perfect. I mean, you're talking about the synergy between the long snappers and the kickers, or the punters, the holders in the field goal game.
It's going to be Amari Terry. He'll come up and field the punt for the Gray squad. Got about 2 yards. He's tackled immediately. It's going to bring up 1st and 10 for the Gray squad.
But the nice thing about the special teams for these coaches and players is that for the most part there isn't a live rush. Everything is hinged on the ability to get down the field and cover the kick, and for the kick return team to be able to make some sort of play with the return, because you're not going to be able to get a block unless it's a bad snap.
So it looks like Ethan Walker is going to get the start at quarterback. He's a tall one, 6'5", 205 pounds, really takes care of the ball. He's a strong arm.
Looks like they're going to come out and attack in the pass game right away with the quick game stuff, a little short hitch out there to your outside receiver. Not a bad way to do that. I mean, there's not a whole lot of difference from those kind of passes and running the ball, because it's focused on getting 3, 4, 5 yards a pop, and it's real hard to make a play on the quarterback just because the ball's coming out so fast.
Jacob Mitchell made the reception, picked up about 3 yards. It's going to be up 2nd and 7. Ball resting on the 48-yard line of the Gray squad.
And again, they're coming out with a similar sort of look, 2 backs in the backfield, and you know, it's a very in vogue formation.
So we got a first down, our first down of the game. It's carried by, looked like Rashid Martin got the carry. Martin had 15 rushing touchdowns this year for Trinity Christian in Jacksonville, rushed for almost 1,500 yards.
Yeah, Trinity Christian is one of those programs here locally and nationally. I mean, they're almost a national program. They play a national schedule. They're a smaller school, but they win state championship after state championship. So not surprised to see one of their guys in this game.
So in blue territory is the Gray squad now. Walker's at quarterback. Let's see if they can keep the drive going. And here's a handoff in the backfield. That's going to be loss of yardage. Big loss back there. Looked like it was number 37, Casey Gifford, out of Pleasant Hill High School in Missouri. Pleasant Hill, they're called the Roosters. How about that nickname?
That's a pretty good, you know, I've known a few unusual mascots in my day, and that's a pretty good one right there, the Roosters.
The Roosters, yeah, I made note of that. So there you go, and there you see the play. And there's Gifford out of Pleasant Hill.
It looked like there was a bit of a miscue on the offensive line. I didn't see exactly what was going on, but it looked like something happened with the right guard, right tackle that gave that defense a good opportunity to get a run through on the running back.
2nd and about 16 now. Walker takes a snap, fumbles it a little bit. Walker looks downfield, throws, and it's incomplete behind the intended receiver.
Going back to the pass game that they look like they're really trying to hammer in is it's all quick passing base. That was a quick slant right there. The idea is get the ball in the hands of the quarterback, get it out as fast as possible, and it's all based on timing. They kind of juggled the snap a little bit, which threw off the timing, which gave the defense an opportunity to adjust very easily inside the play and resulted in an incomplete pass.
Along the intended receiver, number 13, Jacob Mitchell. So we see Mitchell catch 1 pass, had a couple touchdowns for Freedom High in Orlando this year. So it's going to be 3rd and long now for the Gray squad. See if they can keep the drive alive. If not, they'll probably have to boot it away. Walker drops back to throw. He throws high, incomplete, and it's tipped. What a tip and a catch, and it's going to be a touchdown. And that's number 20, Amari Terry, a local talent out of Bowles High School. And there's the old tip drill. Ron, you got to knock it down when you're a defender.
Yeah, that's tough. You know, that's one where they come out and they look really, really bad. They end up smelling like roses at the end, but it results in a touchdown, and it's made by another kid from a local high school that's done a fantastic, a local high school that's great. Bowles High School, again, they're a state championship caliber program. Sometimes they're nationally ranked.
There you see the replay. Threw it a little high, and the tip drill couldn't quite bring that down. Number 37, once again in there. He made that nice tackle for a loss, Gifford, but he couldn't quite come up with that. And the extra point is no good.
Looks like a miscue. Again, you know,
we're going to take a break with the score, Gray 6, Blue 0. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
I'm still kicking myself. Welcome back to Jacksonville. We're at EverBank Field. Rick Sassone along with Ron Hahn and Mercedes Owens. The Gray squad, the All-Stars, take a 6-0 lead on a little tip drill. Amari Terry, number 20, took it to the house for the score. So we're getting ready for the kickoff here. And once again, Bryant Wallace will tee it up back deep. Zimmerman, Jared Zimmerman, and Justice Stokes. And it's going to be Stokes. Stokes got up the middle. He's got a nice little seam. There goes Stokes to the outside. Stokes cuts in on the kicker, and Stokes gets it out over the 50-yard line into Gray territory. What a nice run back by Justice Stokes.
Yeah, it was a little improvement on the last one. They bobbled the snap a little bit, but they made a great play. Guys are excited, and they, looks like they're going to start off in some pretty good field position here for the Blue.
Stokes made a nice move on the kicker right there to get some extra yardage.
They will ruin a good return sometimes. Let's see what they do here. You know, both teams came out with using 2 backs, and they seem to be going more with the quick passing game. You know, as a defensive guy, I'd like to see him be a little more run-oriented.
So Daryl Mack is going to get the start at quarterback. He's a University of Central Florida commit, going to play with Scott Frost, and he's going to drop straight back. Mack does, and Mack throws, and there's a big hit. A big hit just outside the 40-yard line to break up that pass. Wow, listen to the fans.
Yeah, they're excited about that. That was a gigantic hit. You don't really see that type of thing all that often, for sure, in an All-Star game. Wow.
What a hit. Number 2, Dwayne Parker out of Gadsden City, Alabama, came up and laid the lumber. Parker, not a big guy, but he sure brought it. Only 5'10", 160. Here's a handoff straight ahead. Got some positive yardage there, Ron. Good push by the offensive line. And that Blue offensive line, they have 7 guys with Division I commits.
Yeah, that should play a pretty major role with any sort of all-star game. If you can get those kind of guys, if you can get those guys moving up front, there's so much more you can do. And they've got guys, they've got everything from major college football all the way down to the Ivy. So they've got some smart kids, some gigantic kids.
So 3rd down now, 3rd and about 5 from the 43-yard line. Joe Menino's in the backfield, comes and resets in the slot. Quarterback is Darren Mack. We got some movement. That looks like that might be big number 78, Larry Borum, who moved.
I think it was probably drawn off by the defense. Nope, they're saying it's against the offense.
Larry Borum, number 78. And the reason why I bring up Borum, 6'6", 345 out of Brother Rice in Michigan. Going to go play at Mizzou. Big fella. Saw him there at practice yesterday. And
how couldn't you see him at practice yesterday? Good heavens. A guy that big has a gravitational pull.
3rd and 11. It's going to bring up for Mack and the Blue offense. Moving for their 2nd possession of the game. Mack's going to drop back. Mack's going to throw. And he's got a receiver. It's complete. Brought down immediately. Alex Gold made the exception. Alex Gold out of Kentucky benches 315 pounds at 200 pounds.
Wow, that's
strong kid.
Yeah, no kidding. It looked like they tried to set up a little screen game there. You know, pretty obvious in the circumstances. It was 3rd and about 12 or 3rd and 13, give or take. But it looked like there might have been some kind of miscommunication because the ball got out there, but they didn't have much blocking going on.
So Amari Terry is going to go back along with Marlon Brooks out of Coral Gables. Terry will be the deep back. There's the kick. Rubright gets it off. It's going to be a fair catch called for and made by Martin. So the Gray squad leads 6-0 here early, and they're going to get their second offensive possession here early in the game. And, you know, it's kind of a shame that the touchdown, the first and only touchdown of the game was scored on a tip ball up in the air, but that's the way the game goes sometimes, Ron.
Well, you know, I think it's a play that if you like to see great offense, yeah, it's you know, it's a bit of an unusual circumstance, but that's the way that's the way the cookie crumbles, and it's great to see the defensive guys be able to make some plays. It's great to see some offensive guys be able to make some plays as well. So, you know, it's all about having some fun out here, and I think people want to see some scoring.
We're going to get our first look at Joseph Brunell, who hands the ball off straight ahead to number 1, Johari Brown. Johari Brown runs a 4.640 out of New Brockton High School in Alabama, 5'9", 190. Got a good 4 yards. It's going to bring up a second and about 6.
Heck yeah, big guy like that. As I said, it's probably your workhorse back wherever he came from. And certainly if you're able to move that well, you're definitely an all-star kind of kid.
So Joseph Brunell, I talk about some pressure playing in a stadium. Your dad's name is up on the Ring of Honor.
Oh, come on, that's cool.
Pressure. Brunell drops straight back. He's got a great pocket presence. He throws over the middle. He's got a receiver, and it looks like it's going to be the tight end, Veltman, out of Indian Rocks Christian, or no, Jason Browning, the wide receiver, out of Space Coast, makes the catch, and big fella just ran down the seam, Ron.
Yeah, it looked like they tried to split the safeties, and it just came open, and Brunell made a good pass, and it worked out real well for him.
Well, let's give credit to Brown. There was a little behind him. He made a nice catch, too. Jason Browning, the receiver. Sets up a 1st and 10 on the 41 now, as Gray will get its second set of downs here. Brunell drops back, looks downfield. Brunell's going to let it fly. He's got somebody out there, and there's the catch made. Miles Henderson makes the catch. Miles Henderson all the way down inside the 10-yard line. It's going to set up a 1st and goal for the Gray squad at the 7-yard line, and here's the replay.
You know, we spend so much time talking about the blue team's offensive line, and it really seems to be the Gray team's offensive line, and it's the blue team's offensive line with just a couple of Division I guys on there that's really making this thing work for the team here. So
we're going to go down to the sidelines. Mercedes Owens. Mercedes, what do you got?
Hey guys, I'm down here with CJ Hayes. CJ, you are headed to Purdue. Can you talk about how excited you are for that experience?
I'm very excited. We got a new coaching staff, so I mean, they like to throw the ball around a lot. I'm a receiver, so that's always good to hear.
And so this is one final game, the Blue-Gray football game in your senior year. Talk about how much fun it's been. Do you know any of the guys out here? Are you meeting new friends and working with the coaches?
My new friend is DJ. He's my roommate. He's the quarterback. He's going to UCF, so it's always good to meet new people.
And I think that's what Blue-Gray is all about. Now, best of luck to you at Purdue and the game today.
Thank you.
Thanks, CJ. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Mercedes. Brunell's going to hand off straight ahead. Gray trying to get in the end zone for the second. Johari Brown goes straight ahead.
Yeah, with these all-star games, most all-star games are local, and a lot of times the kids know each other, and then you get to a game like this, and it's truly a national game where you have guys from Ohio and Texas and Florida and Georgia and Illinois, guys that really don't see each other. It's got to be a fun experience for those guys, and potentially you're making some great friendships. I mean, we've got kids here that are going to go to Iowa and other kids that are going to Purdue, so they're going to see each other again, so it's something that really lasts.
Yeah, friendships that'll last for life. They met at the Blue-Gray All-American Bowl. Here's a 3rd and goal now for the Gray squad. Brunell still in at quarterback. Little play action. Brunell's going to roll, and Brunell's going to go down, so that's going to make the field goal a little tougher. It looked like it was number 58, Joshua Mays, out of Deerfield, Illinois, getting in there to make the tackle. And here's the replay. Good play by Mays. He didn't kind of went for that fake, took on the blocker, Amari, and just pushed him right backwards.
Yeah,
Johari Brown.
He's a big kid too, 6'4", 230. Another big, strong kid out of Illinois. Now let's see what they're going to do with the if we can get a good field goal here.
Here's a 39-yarder. The Bryant Wallace, 39, going to put it down. Menino's the holder. It's up, and it looks like it's good from here, and it is not. So I did not. I guess my eyes are going. Thought it was good, so it was wide to the left. And here's the replay as Wallace just kind of pulled it. So he's missed an extra point and a field goal now, and he just.
It looks like somebody didn't get the memo about the, no rush.
Hit the upright. Yeah, hit the right upright on that. I didn't even see it. I thought it went through. Wow. Yeah, it's a little cloudy. There's a little glare. Actually, no, the glare kind of went away, so I can't blame it on that.
Yeah, no, it's nice.
So now the blue All-American offense will come back on the field. 6-0 is our score. There you see 6:07 left to go here in the first. And Jay Vanderjagt is in at quarterback, threw for almost 5,000 yards in his high school career out of Coronado High School in Arizona. And if you recognize the name, it is Mike Vanderjagt's son. To visit with Mike yesterday, one of the most accurate kicker in NFL history in the house today.
They could probably use him with some field goal duties today so far.
Out over the 20 is the carry, and it looks like Trevor Kernard. So positive yardage on first down. Ron, you always want to get positive yards on first down, even in like an all-star game here. Picked up about 3. It's going to bring up 2nd and 7.
Well, I think more important than that, you want to make sure that you want to create some indecision in the defense. So it's good to be, first down, you'd like to get positive yards, but at the same time, they're going to probably be gearing up against the run. So if you can create a situation where you can make a play down the field, that's always good too.
Here's a wide set. Twin receivers to the right and the left of Vanderjagt. He hands off, and it is Trevor Kernard straight ahead again. So it's going to bring up a 3rd and manageable 3rd and 5 from about the 25-yard line.
They're making some personnel changes there on defense. Big 69 out of South Carolina, out of Indian Land, South Carolina, Stone Potts. 6 foot, 260-pounder, just checked into the ball game. It looks like they're expecting run on this 3rd and 5.
3rd and 5. We're in the first quarter. Rick Sassone, Ron Hahn, Mercedes owns on ESPN 3. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. Blue-gray All-American football. Vanderjagt's going to roll out to the right. He throws. He's got a receiver right at the sticks, and it's going to be caught for a first down.
It's going to be pretty close. It looks like they're going to mark it as a first down. That was a great catch in traffic, too.
Yeah.
They're going into the sideline, got his feet in bounds.
Number 16, Drew Greenhall. Makes a nice catch, got his foot down. Look, he's working for Sundays already, dragging that back foot.
Well, it is an NFL stadium.
Yes, it is. Well, we're going to take a timeout with the score, Gray 6, Blue 0.
Nope, he'll be playing. Thanks.
Is it a water break? Do they do water breaks?
Yeah, I think so.
I know in high school, the state of Florida, they had mandatory water breaks. So I didn't see it.
I mean, I can grab him. You want me to grab him? Okay, awesome. Yeah, thanks. Hey, Ivory, can you come with me? It's your time. You've been called. Yeah. So they're break right now. They're gonna come back. We're gonna let one play go by, and then I'm gonna ask you some questions. We'll stand right here. The camera, you see him over there with the orange shirt? Yeah. He's all the way over there. You don't have to look at the camera. Just stay close. They can see and they're close, so they'll be able to see you. But just look at me, and we'll be good. How's it going?
Going pretty good.
Having a good time? Okay.
Got one driving.
Awesome, thanks. Okay, let me take this out there.
Welcome back to Jacksonville. We're at EverBank Field. The 2017 Blue-Gray All-American Bowl. Rick Sassone along with Ron Hahn and Mercedes owns. 1st and 10 for the blue squad. Jay Vanderjagt in at quarterback, hands off straight ahead, and there's a little bit of a hole. Breaks a tackle, gets out close to a first down. I think he's going to be a little bit short. It was Trevor Kennard. We're going to go down to the sidelines. Mercedes Owens has a special guest for us.
Hey guys, I'm down here with Ivory Kelly Martin, and he is an Iowa commit, but I know that's not the only school that came calling. What made your decision there?
One of the biggest things I loved about Iowa is the relationships I had and how I felt with the coaches, how I bonded with them, and some of the players there. You know, their coaching history has a great atmosphere. They've been there a long time. Some a really stable type of place. So that's one of the big reasons I feel comfortable there.
Relationships, as we heard in the banquet last night, and as everyone at Blue Gray football has been expressing, is relationships is huge. Now, speak about the relationships that are happening here. You have a few days with these guys, but have you made any new friendships, or did you know anyone coming in?
Yeah, I knew a few people from Illinois, mostly coming into here. Beforehand, I was able to talk to a few guys like on Twitter or something like that, say what's up. I made pretty good friends with my roommate Titus. So I'm meeting a lot of good guys here, all good football players.
And what's been your favorite part about Blue Gray football?
Just bonding during practice, pretty much. You know, the coaches here are really they're really in focus, trying to get us to do better, get us prepared for college and everything. So I'm enjoying it.
All right, well, it seems like relationships is the key to success out here today. Well, best of luck to you. Back to you, Rick and Ron. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Mercedes. And while we were gone, Trevor Kennard carried for a first down, and then the second down play resulted in a loss of yardage.
It looks like they're opening up the playbook a little bit. They the first play in that drive was a pretty simple ISO play that picked up 10, and the second play was an option play, and looks like they lost about 3.
Yes, it's going to bring up a 2nd and 13 now for Vanderjagt and the blue offense. Straight drop back now. Vanderjagt looks downfield. He's going to roll a little bit to his right. He's got a receiver complete to Jacob Miller, who's outside the numbers, gets out of bounds, gets across the 40, the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that was on one side of the field. They had 2 verts on the right side of the offensive field, and they had down here at the bottom they have what we call a smash concept with a corner route by the inside receiver and a hitch route by the outside receiver, and they picked up about 2 or 3 yards, maybe 4 yards on that. It looks like they're probably going to have to come out swinging on this one, though.
I look across the way and I see a little movement in the stands. I think we got a little precipitation beginning to fall here at EverBank Field, so we'll keep an eye on that. It's 3rd and about 8 now, ball on the near hash, and we got a timeout on the field, and the blue team is going to take a timeout. So the blue trailing the gray 6-0. Good. I'll get better on those short breaks. I'm not just a short pump outs. I make it. You could have went during. You got to pee. You can go to quick timeouts. Next one. It's right there. welcome back to Jacksonville. A wet Jacksonville as now the rain is starting to fall a little harder. Rick Sassone along with Ron Hahn and Mercedes Owens bringing you blue-gray All-American football on ESPN3. Vanderjagt's going to drop back. He's going to roll out. He throws complete on the sideline. And that's a first down right at the sticks. And what a good route run by Jacob Miller, the 6'1", 175-pounder out of Ayersville, Ohio. He knew right where that stick was.
Yeah, it's a smart kid. Should. He's an all-star. And they're definitely you're getting a cover 3 defense there. The corners are probably going to play off. They're going to expect with the weather changing, they're probably going to expect more of a ground game. So that's a good opportunity while the ball is still dry to get the ball out there and make a play.
And from home, you can see it on your screen. It's coming down very steadily now as Vanderjagt and kind of that pistol combination shotgun. Straight ahead, here's a carry right down the hash mark. Broke a tackle, Menino, I believe it is, or no, Trevor Kennard. So Kennard busts through there. That was just a big hole. That offensive line just opened up a gash there.
Yeah, they're doing a great job. That's another Illinois player from Mount Carmel. The Illinois guys seem to be the real standout so far in this game.
So Kennard broke a tackle, got it down to the 35 out of Mount Carmel High School. You see there in Illinois, Trevor Kennard. Nice run, but that hole was open up big when Kennard broke a tackle to get additional yardage. Here's the 1st and 10 now. Handoff, here's Kennard again. Kennard gets to the outside, there's Kennard. Nice run again by Trevor Kennard. Got to the outside and he picked up about 8 yards. It's gonna bring up a 2nd and about 2.
And now we're going back to with the run game here with all these big boys up front, with all these Division I commits. It looks pretty good with them attacking on the run game.
Yeah, the big guys up front. Got guys going to Army, Columbia, Kansas State, Northern Illinois, Kent State, Navy, and Missouri on that offensive line for the Blue Squad. Vanderjagt inside handoff. It looks like it's Kennard again, and Kennard's breaking towards the end zone. He gets tackled down about the 10-yard line. Let's see exactly where they spot it. I think they're going to spot it right on the 10, so it should be 1st and goal.
Here's a little piece of trivia for you. There's a fairly prominent former professional football player, probably a few, but a very prominent one that came out of Mount Carmel High School. Do you know who he is, Rick?
No, I do not. Not off the top of my head.
Played at Syracuse. You should be a Syracuse fan. Oh, wow. Stumped.
He put me on the spot here. Wow.
Wow. Donovan McNabb.
Oh, McNabb.
Yeah.
Really? I thought he came out of Pennsylvania.
No, he's a Chicago kid.
Well, thank you.
Well,
okay.
Grown man now.
Well, yeah, there he is. There's a handoff outside. Looks like is that number 12? We have, there he is, Braden Hall. Had the carry. I thought we missed a number on our roster there. I was just looking in the wrong place. So looks like the rain let up a little bit now. It's going to bring up that 2nd and goal, and Hall actually lost a yard. So the ball is going to be back to the 11. And we got a timeout. That's the end of the first quarter. Gray 6, Blue 0. We'll be back with the 2nd quarter here on ESPN3. Talking? You want to go coaches when we come back? Okay. You have graphics for the head coaches? Is that what? You have graphics for the head coaches? Yeah, I have some. We're just going to do head coaches. Okay, I can mention. Don't worry about that. Yes. Welcome back to Jacksonville. And as I mentioned at the top, these players are coached by some great former NFL greats. And there's Dick Bell, the head of the Blue Squad. NFL with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, signed in 1980, played with the Chargers. He was an NFL free agent from 86 to 2000 for 14 years. And he was the Pro Football Executive of the Year in 1991. And Quinn Gray, the head coach of the Gray Squad, played with the Jaguars here. He is head coach of Mandarin High School, the Mustangs here locally. They were 6-2 this year, 3-1 in the district. And he also led the Frankfurt Galaxy to a win in World Bowl 11. Quinn Gray, there you go.
Wow. It's quite an extensive resume.
Yeah, and there's a handoff straight ahead, hammering down close to the goal line to about the 1. And back in the game is Ivory Kelly Martin. Looked like he was shot out of a cannon on that. And well, now I know what Kurt Ferentz saw.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he smells the end zone, that's for sure. And they're almost there.
So 3rd and goal from the 1. They got that big offensive line up front. Let's see what happens. And Kelly Martin's going to get it again. He goes straight ahead. I think he lost the football.
Oh, boy.
It's in the end zone, but I think they're going to call him down.
You know, these are those situations where I think you just go under center and just move forward. You know, they're on about the half-yard line. Let's just get this thing done.
I was at practice yesterday. Jay Vanderjagt, 6'3", big kid. You think you just goose the center and go, huh, Ron?
Oh, yeah.
And here's the replay. And let's see. I think he was stopped. Was he down? Yeah, it looked like that left knee was down. Yeah, well before the ball came out. So good call by the officials. So it's going to be 4th and goal. And we got a timeout by the Gray Squad. So with 14:49. And if you're wondering, you're watching a high school football game joining us on ESPN 3 today, and you see 14:49 left. These games are 16-minute quarters. And Ron, you made a great point where try to get them ready for the transition to the next level, going from Fridays on Saturdays. And here's a look at some of the rules in case you missed it in the open. And there you see the 16-minute quarters. You know, all-star games kind of, it's about getting everybody in. Everybody out there in a blue or gray jersey was an all-star on their team. So you want to get them as much playing time as possible.
Oh, absolutely. And some of it does have to do with getting them a little bit more acclimated to the next level as far as the game being a little bit longer, some of the operational things being different. You know, even with something as simple as I know in my experience of having been the head coach of an all-star team, we kicked a field goal that didn't quite make it into the made it into the end zone, but didn't make it out of the end zone, and that was an opportunity for a return ball, which is not which is in the norm in high school football. So all of a sudden things change very quickly, and these guys have to learn those things in a very short amount of time.
So Titus, McCoy, and Ivory are the backs with Vanderjagt on the 4th and goal from the 1. And it looks like it is Ivory, and I think he was stopped.
Yeah,
I think the Gray team stopped him. And there you go. And number 43 led the rush. Christopher Edwards out of North Carolina came up from his linebacker position. And here's the replay. And there's Edwards with the good hit, the good stick by Edwards. And if you're watching at home, you young kids, that's how you play linebacker, huh, Ron? I know you played some linebacker.
Well, yeah, but the thing that you don't see here is it looks like the right tackle just gets driven out of there and pushed on his back, and that just opened up the floodgates for the linebackers to get a run through. They were just kind of running an off tackle kick out play, and yeah, it was 4th down. So now we're going to see what they can do. Let's see if.
Well, just outside. Talk about if it was sunny, it would be in the shadow of their own goalpost. So in at quarterback now is Connor Curry, number 17. And Curry's just going to put his head down and go straight ahead. And Curry gets out. He was just hoping maybe to get a couple. He got it out over the 5.
I think he was showing what you were supposed to do in that last situation.
Correct. There you go.
Hey, listen, guys. We got to get 1 yard. Let's get this thing in the end zone. In this circumstance, let's get this thing out of the danger zone. Get out to the 5 or 6 yard line where we can actually operate a real offense. And that's what they did. Lowered his head too. It looked like they were running the flying wedge there from the 1920s.
So Curry's in at quarterback. It's the 3rd quarterback of the day. The other 2 were Ethan Walker and Joseph Brunell. Johari Brown's in the back. It's going to be a handoff to the outside. Gets outside. The numbers wrapped up. Grabbed the jersey. Knocked out of bounds. And that's Rashid Martin on the carry. And Rashid Martin ended up with positive yards. I think he ran like 20 yards to get a yard.
Yeah, that's about what it looked like. You know, they're running some zone scheme stuff, and they're trying to get to the outside, trying to create a little confusion, but the defense just isn't buying it. There was multiple guys out there ready to make that play, and you know that's a heck of an effort to get that 1 yard. Wow, he ran a long way to get it.
Well, Derek Horn just stuck with it, the defensive back out of Milford, Michigan, just stuck with him and grabbed a hold of his jersey and didn't let him go. 3rd down and 4 now. Here's a throw out. Curry throws it out, and nice tackle on the far side.
A little dig flat concept
to
where
Terry. Terry made the reception, but what a nice play.
Yeah, they were trying to manipulate the defense there with the out breaking route by the number 2 receiver and bring the other guy in with a dig route and see. And all they're really trying to do is to see what that defender does, see what that corner linebacker does. If he works too far to the flat, they're going to throw that dig. If he works too far inside, if that corner works too far inside, they're going to throw the flat. And hopefully they're able to make a play. And in that circumstance, he came up about 2 yards too short.
Presley Harvin kicks it out of there. Was taken by the up back, Justice Stokes. We got a break in the action. Gray leads the Blues 6-0 here from EverBank Field. We want to welcome you back to Jacksonville, where the score is the Gray All-Stars lead the Blue All-Stars 6-0 now, and a quarterback for the blue team as they take over Anthony Butler. Butler takes a snap, drops back, throws downfield in a crowd. He overthrew the intended receiver, Justice Stokes, incomplete. They'll bring up a 2nd and 10.
Looked like they were trying to make something happen real quick there, coming out on first down and go with that quick strike like I was talking about earlier, trying to keep them on their toes, not just load up against the run on first down. And unfortunately that ball fell incomplete.
So let's see what they dial up here on 2nd and 10. Offensive coordinator for the Blue is Arlen Harris. Harris, of course, if you remember the name, was signed with the Rams in 2003, was a USA All-American, and 97 at Virginia. Here's a handoff, going to get outside the numbers and out of bounds. Good, I'll tell you, good pursuit. Is Alec Gold couldn't just turn the corner, and that's a big fella that benches 315 pounds, but he couldn't get to the corner there, Ron. Good defense?
Well, the what you probably didn't see is the two defensive tackles right there in the middle caused that play to bubble. It was more of a downhill run play, and those two guys right there in the middle got so upfield so fast that it caused the back to have to bubble to the outside, and now all of a sudden he's running east and west versus north and south, and that's really no good for the offense and certainly not good for the running back. So they end up picking up 1 yard on second down, and they're in a tough spot now.
So out of Roman Catholic High School in Pennsylvania, Anthony Butler is the quarterback. It's 3rd and 9. Butler straight drop. Looks down, he's going to overthrow everybody. Incomplete. He had Justice Stokes out there, but overthrew him, so that's going to bring up 4th down. And 4th and 9, we'll see a punt situation. So Bill Rubright, he'll be back out to punt. The long snapper is Gunnar Daniel.
Didn't have a lot of help there either. He had both defensive ends on either side closing in really fast. And that's kind of the nature of these type of games where it's where the protection game as far as the pass game is concerned makes it really challenging with all the communication that has to happen between the offensive line. And right there, that was a good example where quarterback had a defensive lineman in his face almost immediately.
Marlon Brooks back deep. Brooks will catch it in traffic. Fair catch in traffic. Well, college scouts will like that because, wow, there was a lot of traffic to call the fair catch.
Kind of looked like he misjudged it right off the bat.
We're going to go down to Mercedes Owens on the sidelines. What do you got for us, Mercedes?
Guys, I'm down here with Adam Baselli, local to Jacksonville. This is not your first time in this stadium. I think it's all in the blood, right?
Oh, yeah, of course. I've been down here multiple times. Came down here when my dad was elected to the Ring of Honor, so I love being down here. It's fun. Good atmosphere.
And your dad is Tony Baselli.
Yes, he is.
It has to be awesome being out here representing him today.
It is awesome. Unfortunately, I couldn't play, but it is still nice representing my family and being out here.
Now, Adam, tell us where you're headed this summer.
In June, I'm headed up to North Carolina State. I'm really excited.
What made your decision there?
They have an amazing engineering program. ACC is a very strong conference this year. My brother's at FSU. They almost beat FSU, and they almost beat Clemson, so national champions. So it's really a good program, and I'm excited.
And now it's your turn.
Exactly.
Well, thanks so much, Adam. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Mercedes. Adam Baselli, of course, the son of Jacksonville Jaguar great Tony Baselli.
Yeah, playing wide receiver, no less. That not tight end.
No, wide receiver.
Wide receiver.
Pure wide receiver, 210. He's lean.
It's great to hear him talk about the academics, too.
So there's a pass downfield that's knocked down and incomplete. Ethan Walker's a quarterback, threw down and had a chance to make a catch back there. Was number 14, or number 18, Nathan Hovis. 6 foot, 160, and he used that 6 foot. And I got a story. Nathan Hovis, after the jersey presentation, came up to me. They had him listed at 5'10", and he came up and he said, "Sir, I'm 6 foot. Could you please correct that?"
I feel his pain. I get accused of being 5'11" all the time, and that's simply not true. And it's upsetting when it happens to you.
So there he is, Hovis. Yeah, it was funny. So I changed him to 6 feet, and it came in handy there as he broke up the play. Okay, 3rd and about 12 now. For the Gray squad, Ethan Walker is the quarterback. Played for the Asheville Blue Comets. There's another nickname for you. There's the throw. He's got a receiver. He's not going to be able to break the tackle. Got a couple yards. It was complete to Jacob Mitchell, number 13, out of Freedom High in Orlando. Had 7 catches on the year this year. 6'4", 185. So 4th down and 11 yards, and that'll bring up the punt team. So we'll see Presley Harvin. And, you know, I saw Presley Harvin at the, and I said, wow, that's the punter. He's 230 pounds going to Georgia Tech.
Well, typically those guys want to have bigger punters. You know, those guys, one, having a taller guy kick the ball, punt the ball, that is, in terms of the snap, it makes it a little easier, takes a little pressure off those guys because they're able to field the tougher snaps. Potentially they might have to make a tackle. Potentially they're in kind of harm's way as far as the as far as where they can potentially, they might get hit. So a bigger, stronger, more physical-looking kid is a better spot to be.
So there's Harvin there, the big fella going to Georgia Tech. And I'll tell you, what a nice kick out, a nice roll. Jared Zimmerman came up the field and he couldn't quite get to it. And it took a real good gray bounce all the way down inside the 30. They're going to line it up at the 29. So Harvey going the Ramblin' Wreck at Georgia Tech. He's a heck of an engineer. I'll tell you, ACC football's gotten good, huh?
Yeah, it's great. You know, they've added a couple teams in there, and they're playing fast. I'll tell you what, I love those. Love the way Clemson played the other night. That was awesome.
Game for the ages, huh? You know, let me ask you this. I want to ask, speaking of college athletics, do you ever remember two barn burners for the basketball championship and the football championship in the same year? Because you think back to April, we had Villanova, North Carolina, and basketball come down to the wire. And then the last second, the Clemson Tigers, unbelievable. Here's Mack's now going to roll out. Darryl Mack. Darryl Mack is going to do it with the legs, and Darryl Mack gets hit, but Darryl Mack has a first down across the 40. Good stick there made on defense.
Yeah, but that was after a pretty long run. He picked up about 12, got to the outside and moved the sticks and put themselves in a little better field position.
So 1st and 10 for Mack and the blue offense, who trail, as you see there, 6-0. In case you missed it, it was a tip pass. Defender went up and tipped it, and Amani Terry took it to the house for the Gray. Extra point was missed, and that's where we stand at 6-0. Mack drops, little pressure. Mack got hit as he threw it, and it's incomplete. So big pressure by 94. The big fella, Nick Huff. Listen to this stat on Nick Huff, 6'3", 288 pounds out of North Surrey High School. 34 tackles for a loss this year.
6 sacks, too.
6 sacks, yeah. So
he almost had one right there.
54 tackles, 34 of them were for a loss.
Well, that's what you like to have out of your defensive line,
Right.
especially big guys like that harassing those guys in the backfield. Makes things a lot easier on the secondary and the linebackers. 2nd
and 10. Mack going to throw here again. Downfield. He's going to overthrow once again everybody. And good coverage down there is intended for number 84, Braxton McClendon. And back deep were Hassan Hamiel and Tyreek Bynum. We're back on the coverage. So there's Mack. He's going to see what Arlen Harris, his offensive coordinator, going to dial up on 3rd and 10.
I'm thinking we're probably going to see some sort of a screen or a draw. They've attempted to screen a couple times so far today, and it hasn't worked out real well. But they've been pretty effective at running the ball, so maybe we'll see a draw here.
And it looks like Kennard's in the backfield. Trevor Kennard going to shift from the right to the left. Mack to throw. Mack looks, throws high, incomplete. He's going to bring up 4th down, and they'll have to kick 4th and 10. Ron, are you surprised by the low scoring?
No.
No, you're really not.
No,
okay.
not at all. These games are, you know, it takes so long for an offense to click.
It's execution, right.
And
right.
I mean, we're talking about 2 days of practice to get these guys who, for the most part, probably don't know each other to come together and play as a team. It's just a lot easier to play defense in a game like this where defense is more about running fast, running into people, and playing hard. Offense is about execution and you know, playing together. I mean, that's really the big thing with that. So I'm actually surprised that there was a score so early, and the blue team has managed to move the ball, although they haven't scored as well as they have.
Marlon Brooks fielded the punt on his own 15. Got it out past the 20, 1st and 10. We're going to take a break. Gray leads the blue 6-0 here at the 2017 All-American Bowl. These two are right. The coach told me these two. Welcome back to Jacksonville. This is Rick Sassone along with Ron Hahn and Mercedes Owens. High School Blue-Gray All-American Bowl on ESPN 3. We're at EverBank Field in Jacksonville. A handoff straight ahead.
Great push by the O-line, downhill run. Really worked the way it was supposed to. Looks like they picked up 4 or 5 yards. Going to give themselves a nice second and medium play, which really gives you the opportunity to open up the playbook, because it's a down where you could run, you could pass, you could run a screen, you could run a draw, you could do all kinds of different stuff, and it's a down that makes it a little harder to defend.
So Joseph Brunell's back in at quarterback. That carry was by Rashid Martin, who is a one-time North Carolina commit, but hasn't fully committed yet, so we'll see where he goes. Brunell's going to pass. Quick throw on the sideline is complete. Rustled out of bounds. Miles Henderson makes the catch. It's going to bring up third and very manageable. That's one thing you want on offense is third and it's like playing pool. You leave yourself with good shots, you're going to do pretty well. Offense, you want to be ahead of the sticks.
Yeah, you want to stay on schedule. There's 4 or 5 statistics, maybe 6 statistics that really determine whether a team is able to win or lose the majority of their games, and one of those is staying on schedule, keeping your team in a position to where they can create trouble for the defense as far as not knowing what's coming.
Brunell takes the snap under center, quick inside handoff, and he's not going to get too far, about a yard, and it was Xavier McLean got the carry.
Looked like a little quick hitting trap play. They tried to sneak that one in there. We haven't seen that today, but they really haven't run the ball under center too. They really haven't gone under center at all today until right there, and they try to hit one with a little quick play.
Here's a stat for you, Ron. Xavier McLean out of Lincolnton High School in North Carolina rushed for 2,187 yards and 29 touchdowns this year.
Wow. Wow, that's a heck of a tool to have in the shed right there.
Yes, it is. So Gerard Zimmerman back deep, standing on his own 20, and the big fella going to Georgia Tech, Presley Harvin, going to come in to kick it, and Harvin hits it. It's a high kick, little short. Up back is Justice Stokes. Stokes going to break a tackle, get it across the 50. So good field position. The blue team will put it in play. The 2017 Blue-Gray All-American Bowl on ESPN 3. Welcome to the broadcast. I am Rick Sassone along with Ron Hahn and Mercedes Owens. I want to thank Reggie Young at Dry Towel. Sweat more, dry less. DryTowel.com. DRI-towel.com. Fuel your game from beginning to end. Win from within. Gatorade. So Jay Vanderjagt will be back at quarterback. And we got a timeout on the field. And we'll be right back from Jacksonville. 6-0 is our score. Bell. We're back here in Jacksonville on the bank of the St. Johns River at EverBank Field. Gray All-Stars lead the Blue All-Stars 6-0. Jay Vanderjagt in at quarterback. Handoff straight ahead. It's Ivory Kelly Martin, the Iowa commit we featured at the top. And boy, the list of schools that Ivory Martin could have went to, just incredible.
Nice little run right there too. They set it up real well, got a nice push, and the defense at the edge, and he cut it right back inside, picked up good 5 solid yards.
So 2nd and 5 now, long 5, short 6 we'll call it. And there goes Kelly Martin again, and there's a big hole into the secondary across the 35, and it's going to be a first down for the Blue squad. That was good offensive line work as we see the replay. Look at the hole they opened up, Ron.
Yeah, it looked like an adjustment on the last play, because the last play, the play before that, they ran and they tried to kick that guy out and they cut back underneath. That play, linebacker stayed inside and they wrapped around and pushed him down inside, and then they were able to break a little bit off tackle.
Tanner Brenneman was able to make the tackle, but not till Kelly Martin got downfield. And what a nice block. Titus McCoy, Indiana State commit, number 30, leading the way. And there goes Ivory Martin again, straight ahead into a pile of humanity. But boy, he got more than I thought. He got about 5 yards on that, Ron. 4 yards.
Yeah, I would say I think this is a pretty
6.
good game plan. I would stick with defeating him, because he seems to be your guy. He seems to be ready to play. And talking to him a little bit last night, he seemed to be very excited.
Yeah, no, he did, and I happen to have a picture on my phone, an up-close picture of Kurt Ferentz, because we covered the Outback Bowl this year. Iowa Hawkeyes were in Tampa, and got to go to the press conference and talk with Coach Ferentz. And so there's the handoff to the outside, and it's going to be knocked down. Number 7, Anthony Barmer. We're going to go down to Mercedes Owens on the sideline. Mercedes?
Hey guys, I'm down here with Josh Mays out of Deerfield, Illinois. Oh my goodness, Illinois, you told me that 15 times. But you're having fun. Welcome to Florida. How's it going?
Oh, it's a great time. It's warm out here. It's like 5 degrees at home, so really enjoying the weather. So and the guys have been great, so it's been a great time.
Definitely a change of pace.
Oh yeah. It's like snowing on the ground, so this is nice to be out here, palm trees and stuff, alligators, so it's pretty cool.
And this is the last game of your senior year. How are you enjoying it so far?
Oh, I'm enjoying it a lot. I mean, most of these guys will be playing next year too, so we're kind of just, sharing common experiences and stuff. So it's pretty cool. It's surreal, and we're just taking it, day by day. It's a blessing to be out here. So
having a lot of fun before you have a tough decision to make. Who has been knocking at your door?
Oh my God, yeah, it's definitely a tough decision I've ever even contemplated. But I've been getting a lot of love from Central Michigan, Miami, Ohio, Toledo, UConn, Indiana. So it's a blessing, but it's very tough.
Definitely. Well, best of luck to you in that decision. I'm sure wherever you go, you'll find success.
Thank you.
Good luck today. Thanks, guys.
You're welcome, Mercedes, and thank you for all the great work you're doing. Now, big loss on the play, but we see something we haven't seen, a flag.
Yeah, I was just thinking
we saw a false start.
Yep.
First defensive flag, and I don't know what this is, an offsides, I think. Because it looks like it's a 5-yard penalty, so it's going to be 3rd and 1. So what a big change of events. A huge loss. Jay Vanderjagt was sacked for a huge loss, and the penalty makes it 3rd and 1 instead of 3rd and very long.
Yeah, it went from a 10 or a 12-yard loss to a 5-yard gain. That's a nice swing of events.
So here we go, 3rd and 1 now. And in the backfield is Titus McCoy. Vanderjagt at quarterback. They'll try to get the first down. Vanderjagt's going to throw, and throws high, incomplete. And I don't know if that was the intended receiver. Looked like Jalen Gaither broke off the route. It was thrown high for Drew Greenhaw, but I don't think he was throwing for Greenhaw.
You know, it's so tough in these situations for these. There's so much synergy that goes into the relationship between the quarterback and the running back, or the quarterback and the receivers. So, being that there are a couple of miscues here in the pass game is not a surprise. They've done really well, though, fighting through it, and they're continuing to go, and they have made some pretty decent plays in the pass game.
For 4th and 1, they're going to go for it. And there's a handoff straight ahead. He's got it. First down, number 30, Titus McCoy, the Indiana State commit. You know, when I read an article on Titus McCoy, he committed in July, and he was one of the top candidates for Mr. Football in the state of Indiana. And he said, you know, he goes, I'm just going to commit and do what I got to do and commit early and get locked in. So he's going to play for the Sycamores and Indiana State.
There's been a lot of conversation, especially with some of the high school coaches I know in my area over in Tampa, with maybe moving to guys would like to see a rolling signing period where guys make a decision and they have, you know, 2 or 3 days to call it back if they choose that they don't want to go. But it takes a lot of stress off a kid and the coaching staff and a team during a season when really they should be having fun. I mean, your senior year is your last year of high school football.
Yeah, you know, that makes sense. The completion, Vanderjagt threw complete to Titus McCoy. And here's the replay of McCoy. Look at this nice move. Juking 2 defenders. A little stiff arm there, getting out of bounds. Something college coaches like to see, a little tenacity there.
Yeah, looked kind of like the McCaffrey kid out at Stanford a little bit there. Moving real well.
Who didn't play in the bowl game. Let's not get me started. Oh, boy. So it's second, picked up about 3 yards, going to bring up second and about 7, second and 6. And Vanderjagt hands him McCoy again, and McCoy's going to be wrapped up as he goes outside the numbers and smacked down on the sideline. Clock's moving here. There you see about 3 minutes approaching here till halftime. The gray leads the blue 6-0. The sun is peeking out back through the clouds. I'll tell you, it's been an interesting day. It was total overcast, and talk about river fog. Woke up, couldn't see a thing outside the hotel room window today.
No kidding.
Cleared up nice.
Yeah, cleared up by about 8:30. Got over here to the stadium. It was raining a little bit. Then it was clear, and then it was raining. And now it's
clear. It's going back and forth.
It's not bad. It's very manic weather here in Jacksonville. It's kind of the same way last year, though, I think.
So third, I guess we'll call it 7. That makes sense. Vanderjagt in the shotgun, drops back, looks, throws, quick throw, incomplete. That's going to bring up 4th down. So you imagine we got to see a field goal, and Randall Haney was on the coverage to break it up, and he's out of Florida. Cardinal Gibbons, they play some good football down there in South Florida.
Yeah, down in, I believe, in the
Fort Lauderdale area or Naples?
Naples, I believe. Naples, yeah. Yeah, you get pretty far south, and they play a pretty fast brand of football down there. That's for sure. Cardinal Gibbons is no different.
So it's going to be a 38-yard attempt for Cooper Graham. There's the snap, and the kick is low, but he did not make it. What is going on with that upright? We've seen 2 missed field goals and a missed extra point down at that.
I think it's crooked.
I think it is. So 6-0. So there's a look at Dick Bell, the coach of the blue team, and Bell played with the Buccaneers, signed in 1980, long time. Just a wealth of football knowledge, Dick Bell. I got to talk to him a little bit yesterday at the jersey presentation, and just and we'll highlight some of the things at halftime. It's not just the game, it's a whole weekend. We had the banquet last night, the jersey presentation yesterday. Just a great weekend. Connor Curry is a quarterback now in for the Gray, and Connor Curry is going to go down. Nice tackle there by number 68, Devin Mines. Mines out of Romulus, Michigan, 6'2", 228 defensive lineman. 2nd and 13. Connor's going to throws out to the right and incomplete almost. I think that ball could have been picked off there.
Yeah, they almost made a play on that, and that would have been, that definitely would have been a score too.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. So that'll bring up 3rd and long. So once again behind the sticks already. And number 32, McKeel Bryant. Had 78 tackles on the year.
That's
from Monroe High School. That's a
heck of a lot of tackles, that's for sure, but that's the way it's built. Get those linebackers around the ball and let them do the dirty work.
A little undersized, 5'9", 185, maybe bring him into your program, convert him to a strong safety or something like that?
Oh, I don't know. Those short, stumpy linebackers, they're sometimes just what the doctor ordered. They get up underneath guys, and they're usually pretty powerful guys. I'd say put some weight on him and keep him in there.
So the pass was intended for Luke Ward out of Northview, Florida, and it was incomplete. So that'll bring up a 4th down. And I'll tell you, the punters, they got to be happy. They're getting a lot of work, and the punt returner's Jared Zimmerman back deep. And we're going to see Presley Harvin again. And Harvin's going to kick it high, high kick. Wow, boomer. And Jared Zimmerman makes a catch, and down there to make the special teams tackle for the gray team was number 4, Hassan Hamiel. And here's what possibly our star of the game, Harvin.
He's excited. He's excited. I want to get that big guy a 70 number because he looks like he could block somebody. Good heavens.
Absolutely. Reminds me a little Marquise King is it kicking for the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah.
And speaking of Oakland, we're going to be out there next week at the Oakland Coliseum. I don't know what they call it now, so lack of 01 or something like that. I don't know. So here we go. It's 1st and 10 on the 39-yard line, and Anthony Butler backing at quarterback out of Pennsylvania. And here's a pass that's going to throw short, and it's skipped incomplete to Justice Stokes. So 1st and 10. You know, they had a deep back that they swung out in the route there, broken up by Jarquez McClenian. And McClenian, a good athlete. We haven't mentioned his name today. Got to meet him last night going to Arkansas. Yeah,
big kid too, big tall kid. Definitely that Arkansas sort of body build as far as a big, physical, athletic kid. And I think we saw that right there.
So here's a 2nd and 10, and there's a point I was going to bring up. I'll do it in a second. There's a handoff, and it's going to go nowhere. It's going to bring up 3rd and long. Number 27, Joe Menino out of Allentown, New Jersey. And what I was going to bring up on that pass play, they swung the guy back out deep behind the line, and it looked like it was almost going to be a backward pass on that. So I'm going to look for that double pass a little bit later. If I'm a defensive coordinator, I'm looking for that because he had 2 options there, did Butler, the quarterback, and he could have threw it to the deep back, and it would have been a backward pass and to set up that double pass. So
yeah, in these type of games, a little trickeration isn't a bad thing because one, the defense hasn't seen it because they've literally been together for 2 or 3 days, and offensively, it's one of the easiest things to practice, and it's one of the funnest things to practice. And it really kind of brings up the energy when the team knows you're about to do it. It changes the atmosphere on the sideline, especially if everybody knows. And I've been kind of waiting for that to happen at some point today because there have been some opportunities. They have thrown a lot of passes behind the line of scrimmage with screens and things like that. So I don't think a double pass. I don't think you're too far off, Rick.
So maybe a little, if this announcing thing doesn't work out for me, maybe you see a little DC in my future?
Absolutely. Come on over.
Okay. Hey, there you go. Strawberry Crest High School.
We'll take you on.
Right outside
Come out
Tampa.
and help coach defensive backs for us.
Zenith. Not all helmets are created equal. See the Zenith difference at zenith.com/tech. All the players today wearing Zenith helmets. Want to thank Zenith for their support of the Blue-Gray All-American Bowl. So here's 3rd and 11, short 11. Butler drops back. Butler's going to throw down the middle. He's got a receiver, Stokes. And what a nice defensive play. Throwing the hammer down was Randall Haney, number 6, the defensive back out of Cardinal Gibbons. And that pass was there, Ron.
Oh, yeah. But they made good contact, got the ball out of there, did what defensive backs are taught to do. He did throw into traffic. It was a good ball. It's a really great ball, actually.
Right on the numbers, but I'll tell you, Haney just closed out.
Yep.
He just closed out, so that'll bring up, he'll bring in Bill Rubright again, and like we said jokingly earlier, our punter so far getting all the airtime today on ESPN3. So Rubite hits it, low liner. It's going to bounce. Picked up there on the 15-yard line. Goes down, so 1st and 10. So the punt ended up being a pretty good punt.
Yeah, it was a low bouncer, so those are kind of hard to field sometimes, and you got to be brave to do it. Those guys, those punt return guys, you know, in my time coaching, that's one of those positions that it takes a special kind of kid. Kick returner is easy because, well, easy to field, I think, in terms of you got a little bit more time. There's a little bit more safety involved. But for those punt return guys, I'm telling you what, they're standing back there. You have no idea where that ball's going to go, and you've got 10 guys screaming down the field to come get you. It's definitely takes a special kind of kid to do that.
So Anthony Butler, no, I'm sorry, Ethan Walker is in at quarterback for the gray team. Walker, a little play action fake. Walker throws into his offensive line.
I do think they're setting up something over here on the left. They ran kind of a little wheel route out of the tight end, it looks like. The tight end and a really close set receiver. And it wasn't wide open, but it was there. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them come back to that. It was number 14 running the route for the gray team there.
And here's the replay. Let's see. Oh, it was the pressure by DeMarco. Russell DeMarco, I should say. 6'2", 210, very agile at a Port Clinton High School in Ohio. So I didn't quite see he got to him. I didn't think he got to him before the pass, but he sure did. So good pressure. And here's a little miscue as Ethan Walker has to keep it on the broken play.
Yeah, they were trying to do that little quick hitting fullback play again, get it to him, and hopefully sneak it in there, and it didn't look like it happened. It looked like they missed the handoff.
So the blue team calls timeout. The blue-gray All-Americans, the blue All-Americans, looked like somebody zigged instead of zagging on that play.
Yep.
And I'm surprised in this all-star format, Ron, we have not seen more of that, because, like you said, they practiced for 2 days. Unbelievable. We were out there yesterday and got to see about an hour and a half worth of practice and enjoyed it. I'll tell you, this coaching staff, the blue coaches, as I said, led by Dick Bell. Arlen Harris is the offensive coordinator. Al McCauley, the defensive coordinator. Mark McMillan, the defensive backs coach. Aaron Harris, the running backs coach. Rodney Beasley, he's currently with the Carolina Panthers as a trainer. Has a couple Purple Hearts in the 82nd Airborne. He's a wide receivers coach and trainer. And Casely Cormier is the offensive line. That's the coaching staff for this blue team. We'll get to the gray in a minute. There's a keeper. The quarterback ball's on the ground. And I'll tell you what, the gray team, very fortunate to get that back. And number 68, Vega, dial to Jonathan Vega, big Jonathan Vega, 6'4", 337. And there's a strip from behind, and look at Vega. Look at that hustle by and the reason why I say that is he was listed at 350, and he said he slimmed down a little bit. Met his parents, talked to him for about 20 minutes after the jersey presentation. Great people, and Jonathan Vega is looking for a spot at the next level. They started the recruiting process maybe a little late, talked about that, because a lot of people aren't sure about it going into it. And I met Jonathan Vega, and he's a first class. So if there's any coaches listening out there, give Jonathan Vega a chance. Because did you see that hustle? Did you see how far? 339 pounds. You see him dive on that ball?
Yeah, it looked like he hurt himself too.
Yeah,
it knocked the wind out of himself. Yeah, I think with a lot of with the whole recruiting process, kids don't always understand, the parents don't always understand what goes into it, and getting out and making yourself visible and communicating with your high school coach. I mean, that's really the most important thing. Prove yourself to that guy first, and a lot of good stuff will happen. But you do have to promote yourself and those things as well. And
another thing I want to add is Jared Zimmerman returned the punt, and another boomer by Piercy Harvin, and we got a flag on the play. But I'll tell you, another thing that I want to point out too for you young kids listening, it's more than what you do on the football field. You got to do well in the classroom, do well on your testing, be a good student, watch the crap you put on the social media, because that all comes into play now, right?
Oh my, yeah. The first thing when a college coach walks on our campus or any campus that I've been, usually and almost always the first question is, what kind of student is he? That's the first question.
So Daryl Mack back into the game at quarterback, and he throws incomplete over the head of Jared Zimmerman.
And they're typically not looking for guys that are, qualifiers. They're not looking for 2.5 and a 19 on your ACT. They're looking for guys that because they're making an investment. I mean, one, you're talking about an assistant coach from a college program that's coming into your high school to recruit you. He's putting his livelihood on the line to vouch for you. So you've got to prove yourself to them.
So Mack rolls out to the right. Mack throws, and there's a complete. It's caught and stepping out of bounds is Zimmerman. So nice throw. The defensive back was right there on the coverage. I think it was number 36, Alexander Dawson out of Albany, Georgia, was there and real close. And I'll tell you, nice throw by Mack to zip it in there just over the outstretched hand of Alexander Dawson.
Yeah, absolutely. And for those college guys, they're making an investment. You've got to make yourself the total package.
Here's Mack in traffic, and he's going to get smacked down, lost about a yard. That'll go down as a sack. And number 79, Terrence Curry, and he is 22 tackles on the year, 7 for a loss, 3 sacks, where his numbers played for Mandarin High School, the Mustangs, coach of Quinn Gray. So he's playing for his head coach here on the day. And that's halftime. There's our score. 6-0 blue-gray. We're going to take a look at the history of the bowl during halftime. All the commitments from the blue-gray. Ron Hahn's going to talk about, he coached in a county all-star game in a county on the west coast here of Florida. He's going to talk about some of the variables involved in that. We'll have some coaches interviews with Mercedes Owens and much, much more coming up here at halftime. Blue-gray Bowl, All-American Bowl 2017 here from EverBank Field in Jacksonville. Rick Sassone along with Ron Hahn and Mercedes Owens. And I just got word we're going to go down to interview head coach Dick Bell of the Blue All-Americans. Let's go down to Mercedes with Coach Bell.
Hey guys, down here with Coach Bell, like Rick said, and he is the coach for the Blue team. Represented.
I do it, and number one, hard work at all levels. I'm a prep school head coach now and headmaster, and a lot of it's about education. Getting a good education, using football to get it for you. That's what we want to do with these guys.
With these guys getting ready to go in.
Thank you, Mercedes and Coach Bell. So anyway, we're going to take a break and come back, and like I said, we'll preview some of the halftime stats and things. We'll be right back from Jacksonville, Florida.
We're at a break. When we come back. Right over there. Yep. So we'll stand probably right here. Hey, does it sound good? I wonder why all of a sudden. We're good here? Okay, I won't move. Yeah. Like an antenna. We need to scoot up? Okay, they're having us scoot up. Yeah, we're getting some serious feedback over there. This sounds bad. How much time do we have? Okay.
Okay. Welcome back to Jacksonville, where the gray All-Americans lead the blue All-Americans 6-0. We're going to go down on the field to Mercedes Owens.
How about that gray squad? QB on that team is Mark Brunell's son, and I'm down here right now with Mark Brunell. How's it going?
It's going well. It's a good game. I'd like to see some more points on the board, but maybe the second half they'll throw some points up there. My son Joseph is playing for the Gray team. He's had a great experience. He's coached by Quinn Gray, who is a former teammate of mine, and it's a great game, great event for a lot of young men, and so it's fun to come out and watch my son play.
And you're definitely a Jacksonville Jaguars legend. Everyone can see your name right there on the stands. We know who you are, and it has to be cool seeing your son play as a senior out here on this field.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and he's already made some good friends and just having a great time. And this game is, what you want more than anything else. You just want them to have a good time, stay healthy, and they'll remember this game for the rest of their lives. I played in a high school all-star game, and I still remember it. Some of the guys I played with, so it's a good time, and just thrilled that my son could be a part of it and actually get a chance to play in a stadium that I was fortunate to play in for many years.
Do you have any coaching tips for him? I know you're out there watching him closely.
Coaching tips all the time, absolutely. Get rid of the ball, don't get hurt, and don't take any unnecessary hits. That's the dad in me coming out, but he's a good young man. He's going to Georgetown University next year to play football. I'm thrilled for him. He's excited about it, and he loves the game. It's been good to him. It's been good to our family. So today's just another day in that journey, and we're thrilled to be a part of it.
Definitely something to be proud of right there. And with those coaching tips, I think you might need to get into the locker room.
No, I'm
it's
okay.
halftime.
I'm up there with my family. I'm happy where I'm at.
Sit this one out.
That's right.
Well, thank you so much, Mark. Best of luck to you, and congratulations on all that your son has been able to accomplish.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Well, we'll be right back here from Jacksonville. We'll talk about the history of the bowl with Ron Hahn coming up right after this quick one.
Ray.
Ron, you still got me in the air, right?
Yep.
So I'll go over a couple of these points of history.
Okay, yeah.
I'll get into you,
cool.
talking about your personal experience in Pinellas County and some of the All-Star game started I got it here. I'll elaborate on it. Okay, do you want to show some of the video from the banquet and all that? Okay, so we're going to break after this segment and then come back one more segment.
Coming out in a minute. I told them to meet 20 right here on this side.
We're on the bank of the St. Johns River in beautiful EverBank Field, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars in Jacksonville, Florida. And there you see our score. The Gray All-Stars lead the Blue All-Stars 6-0. I want to talk a little something about the history of this bowl. If you're wondering how this all came to be, the Blue-Gray All-American Bowl started back in 1989. Gus Bell and his son Eric started combines. They started these regional combines to help prep prospects gain the national exposure, and it ended up being rolling into some games that have now been played for about 4 years, and there's about 20 combines there you see across the United States in different markets. So that's how you see these players from different parts of the country all over the United States, and it's really exciting. And I know there was one held in Tampa, Cincinnati, all the NFL venues across the country. Even if there's not a game there, these kids get to play in these All-Star games. And so far this year, there's 3 All-Star games. There was one in Dallas before the first of the year. There's this one here today in Jacksonville, and then next week we go out to the West Coast to Oakland, where there'll be another game. So it's really exciting, gives a chance for college coaches and scouts to see these guys, more exposure, playing. And you know what, on a national level, ESPN 3, so there's that pressure of the network. And then, you know.
And it's just a fun environment. I mean, for me, I remember as a player in high school, if I would have got the opportunity to play at old Riverfront Stadium, it would have been just the coolest thing ever. So for these guys to come from all over the country, to come down here to play in Jacksonville or in Tampa or out in Oakland or that big behemoth stadium over in Dallas, I mean, that is worth its weight in gold right there for those kids in terms of making memories.
Yeah, no, Ron, and I know that you've coached in a couple of All-Star games locally. We'll get into some of those challenges a little bit later, maybe during the second half, because I know we got to go to a break, and then we're going to come back. We're going to come back with some highlights of the first half. We're going to get Coach Quinn Gray, who is the coach of the Gray All-Star team, former Jacksonville Jaguar. And as you heard with the interview with Mark Brunell, that he was actually a teammate with Mark Brunell. So that's really exciting, and to be here in Jacksonville to have this game. So we'll take a break. We'll come back with some highlights of the first half here on ESPN 3. Welcome back to Jacksonville. It's halftime. We're at 6-0. And as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, an event-filled weekend here, Ron. I mean, not only just the game, that's what you see here on TV, but here you see some shots of the buffet last night, a long extended presentation. All the coaches got to talk. The director of the bowl, Sean Solinsky, got to speak. He'll be joining us a little bit later up here, Ron. So what an exciting event. And we talked about some of the camaraderie that the players get, lifetime friendships they make here.
Yeah, that's a wildly important thing in these games. You know, for kids to be able to get out and meet these other kids from across the country, and in some circumstances, kids are going to the same conference, sometimes the same school, and to be able to get to know these guys, it's just nice, because football is a special community between coaches and players, and anytime you can build that community and build those relationships, it's a great thing, because we have to protect our game, and that's one of the ways we're able to do that, I think.
Well, let's take a look at some first half highlights here. First of all, that touchdown on the tip drill here. Amani Terry on the tip here. Ball was tipped up in the air. It could have easily been intercepted, or we'd have probably a 0-0 game. And Terry just raced to the end zone. The extra point was missed, 6-0. Here's another big play, a completion. Jason Browning over the middle. There you see Brunell standing in there, throwing downfield to number 81. Ron, you know, we did mention earlier, and we'll get to it a little bit here, you coached, first of all, for the listeners, you're a high school coach here in the state of Florida at Strawberry Crest High School over outside of Tampa, and you did coach an all-star game, a county versus county all-star game. Talk about some of the variables that go into that, some of the difficulties, some of the good things about it.
Well, when you're talking about an all-star game, it was the Pinellas County All-Star Game about 3 years ago, and the first thing you do when you come into these things, you're bringing kids from all over the area together, and to be able to be successful in these games, you got to be able to get them to come together as a team. And we were fortunate enough to be able to do that when I coached it, but sometimes that could be even a little more challenging when you're talking about kids from all over the country. So in my experience, if you're able to get those kids to work together, to play together, and most importantly have fun and play fast, that's where you're going to, that's when you'll see a lot of success, and an all-star game be a great situation.
Yeah, no, and I'll tell you, the challenge, with it actually amazes me every time I see games like this, how they're able to get this much organization, especially on the offensive side, together. It's just
well, I think they also, you have to, there's some staple plays in football that everybody runs to a certain degree, whether you're a wing team or you're a spread team. Teams are going to run power, teams are going to run isolation plays, and defensively teams are going to run cover 3, they're going to run cover 2, they're going to run man. So those are the things, I think, those are the staples that you're going to see, the football staples that you're going to see appear in an all-star game like today, because everybody does them.
Yeah, no, I know, and I'm telling you, I am still waiting. This game is going to be decided. I know I said it earlier on the trick play, because this is one of those games where there's not much offense going on, and I just think it's going to take one of those plays where somebody's going to catch somebody by surprise and make a big play and score a touchdown, and we could have a 7-6 final score, or
Well, I don't want to take away from the offense. I think the blue team has done a really good job of moving the ball, and they just haven't scored. The gray team has made a play, and they have scored. I think the blue team has played a little better. They just haven't managed to get in the end zone. So maybe a trick play is the way they go with that to kind of spark that enthusiasm, to spark the interest of what's going on, and make this game even better than what it's been so far.
No, we are here in Jacksonville, right on the bank of the St. Johns River, a beautiful EverBank Field, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Blue-Gray All-American Bowl 2017 edition here in Jacksonville. Rick Sassone, Ron Hahn, and Mercedes Owens bringing you all the action. And there you see Connor Curry getting warmed up a little bit, the blue squad getting ready for the second half, and we're just about ready for the second half kickoff. So the blue squad is going to be kicking from right to left, and the kicker for the blue squad is out on the field getting ready. Cooper Graham is going to tee it off. And back deep, it looks like it's going to be Terry, who's got a lot of playing time today.
Yeah, he's been the workhorse back for him. You know, they've done a great job with him so far in this game, and he's done a great job showcasing his talents.
Well, Mercedes Owens, our sideline reporter today, got a note from Coach Quinn Gray at halftime. What did he say, Mercedes?
Do it in just a few days. How do they get them all together and make these offenses work? Coach Gray said they keep it simple. It's a simple scheme, and they play fast football. He said at the end of the day, football is what these guys do, so they don't really worry about how much time they have to work together. And then I said, well, with all of your NFL experience, what is your message to them out there today? And he said, you know, live in the moment. For some of these guys, it might be the last game they play as seniors, and for the rest, they're college, they're moving on, but they want to enjoy today because win, lose, or draw, it doesn't count against them, so just have fun.
Thank you, Mercedes. So back to live action. Amani Terry takes the second half kickoff, gets it up over the 30-yard line, actually over the 35 to the 37. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Gray from there, and let's see who they come out with. Quarterback, 3 quarterbacks in rotation here in the, and it looks like it's going to be Joseph Brunell huddling up with the offense on the sidelines right there. Let's see if it is indeed Brunell, and it is. So Brunell's going to come out. His team leads on the scoreboard 6-0 here at the 2017 Blue-Gray All-American Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida. Glad you're joining us today on ESPN3. Rick Sassone, Ron Hahn, Mercedes Owens, thank you for joining us. Here's Brunell. Brunell's going to throw to the sideline, and it's complete out over the 40-yard line. Good gain on 1st down to Casey Allen.
You know, one of the other things that Coach Gray said right before halftime, and he talked about the importance of giving these kids an opportunity to showcase their talents, but also it's about education, and you know, that's what they do at Mandarin High School, and that's what I think we all do as high school football coaches, is we're trying to be proctors for education and try to give these kids a better experience than what they might have without football. So it was great to hear him say those things.
Gain of 6 yards on 1st down is going to bring up a 2nd and 4. Little play action. Brunell throws out. It's got a receiver on the inside. Has a 1st down.
Little jailbreak screen right there. They tried to set that up a couple times earlier today, and the O-line just couldn't get out there.
Amari Terry, and here's the replay.
See, if you watch these guys, that big number 76 tackle, he didn't block anybody. They let the defensive end go, and then he took off and picked off the first skinny guy he could find, and they picked up a couple yards as a result. Those kind of plays can really turn electric really fast.
Oh, absolutely. We've seen Terry's speed earlier, so he could have easily broke that one. 1st and 10 now. Ball's on the 46-yard line. Joseph Brunell, little quick pitch here now. It's Brown on the outside. Brown with those bright orange shoes. Tried to break a tackle, got a couple yards. Going to bring up a 2nd and like maybe 8, 4. No, got about a yard, 2nd and 9.
They've clearly made some changes here at halftime as well, as far as some of the formations that they're lining up in. I think for the most part we've seen them line up in 2-back shotgun formation with 3 receivers in there. Now they're keeping the same personnel, I think, as far as keeping a fullback in the game, but they moved to more of a bunch set 3-by-1 formation, which that's going to give a defense that hasn't played together fits as far as getting lined up. And although that play didn't turn out as well as it could have, it makes the defense think.
2nd and 9, Brunell, quick drop, throws, and he overthrows Terry. And I'll tell you, we're here early, here in the 2nd half, just underway. Gray lead. So it's going to bring up a 3rd and long again. And I'll tell you, if they get a stop here, it's going to bring on our all-star, Presley Harvin, getting a lot of airtime. Well, I'll tell you, Georgia Tech's getting a good one. He's going to be booming the ball.
Oh, yeah, and he's excited, too. You got to like that. See a guy who's going to kick the ball and get real excited about it.
Let me ask you, when you recruit a really good punter, does it mean you have a bad offense?
No.
Okay,
no.
just checking.
No, it's that's one of my old high school coaches. He was 75 years old when he coached me 20 years ago, and his thing was punt is the most important play in football because it's the only one that we can guarantee that we get 35 yards on.
That's great. Here's Brunell, and he's just stayed behind the line and makes the play to Brown, and Brown's got a first down for the great team. So there you see, I mentioned in the open, Joseph Brunell, son of Mark Brunell, a dual threat. He has a great pocket presence, but when that breaks down, he can make something happen. And here, watch, this is exactly what he does here. As he gets outside and gets it off to Brown, and number 58 brought the pressure, Joshua Mays.
And those type of things aren't really necessarily about being super fast or super athletic. It's just having great footwork. I mean, Tom Brady being a great example of that. He's not a guy that's going to go out and outrun anybody, but he's one has some of the best pocket presence of any quarterback in the game today.
Under center now is Brunell, and there's an inside handoff. Breaking tackle to the outside, going to have a first down, and that's Caleb Ferguson.
They've come back to this trap play. That's the third time today that they've run it. The first time it hit for just a little, maybe the fourth time, it hit just a little bit the first time they ran it. The second time they ran it, there was some sort of miscue where the quarterback wasn't able to get him the ball, and that's one of those things where if they get a little more time together as an offense, that mesh is something that they need a little more time to practice. But it worked perfectly there.
Tuscola High School in North Carolina. Here's a stat for you. 35 rushing TDs on 1,767 yards. 147 yards a game. Caleb Ferguson this year.
That's a great stat to have right there, having a guy that can, I'd like to have had that as a team, let alone one guy.
So
to have that kind of workhorse back.
Breaks a tackle, fumbles the ball out of bounds. But I'll tell you, there's Brunell again. The pocket breaks down, and he just has a very uncanny ability. He almost has a football intelligent clock in his head where he knows when to take off. And here it is. And you see Brunell in the pocket. He's in there. He sees it breaks down. He has some running room. Breaks a tackle right there. Dives ahead. But, boy, he lost that ball. Unfortunate that it went out of bounds.
Yeah, he needs to get that thing tucked away. Protect the loaf of bread and make sure a bad thing doesn't happen when it shouldn't.
So red zone play now, 2nd and 1 for Gray, and a score here could be, the way their defense has been playing, score here could be really big. Kenny Stills is the defensive coordinator. There's a run straight ahead. They're going to pound that for the first down. They're going to move the sticks. Johari Brown out of New Brockton, Alabama, 5'9", 190. I'll tell you, Johari Brown runs a 4.6 40, so he can move, but he didn't have to. He just smacked in the middle of the pile, needed a yard, got a couple, and Gray's in business with a new set of downs inside the 15-yard line.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see them just keep handing that thing off and see if they can get this ball in the end zone on the ground. And that might put this thing out of reach for the blue team.
The way it's been going, I'll tell you. Mentioned Kenny Stills, drafted by the Packers in 1985, played with the Vikings. Coached the Frankfurt Galaxy for 3 years. First team all Big Ten in 85 out of Wisconsin. Here's Brunell under pressure. That's a backward pass. He gets it to Brown. Brown gets outside, gets a nice block. Brown cuts back in, and Brown's going to go ahead towards the end zone and get in. Touchdown, Amari Brown. What a run by Amari Brown.
That was great effort to keep the play alive. But wow, that could have turned ugly because if that ball hit the ground, that's a fumble. But that's a great way to keep that thing alive and get in the end zone. And honestly, the defense was just playing a little extra hard there and just over pursuit. Otherwise, they might have made a tackle for a no gain.
So Johari Brown, what a run, and it's 12-0. Here's the extra point coming up, and it banged through by Bryant Wallace. And we're going to take a break with the score. Gray 13, Blue 0. You're watching the 2017 All-American Bowl. Welcome back to Jacksonville EverBank Field, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Rick Sassone along with Ron Hahn and Mercedes Owens. And the gray team just scored on an electrifying run by Johari Brown. The kickoff back deep, Jared Zimmerman and Justice Stokes. Long way from over, a lot of time left to go, 11:49 in the third. And it's going to be Stokes on the 10. Stokes gets up to the 20 quickly, to the 25. Stokes has a seam. Gets smacked at the 45, and here's that run by Johari Brown. First of all, it's kind of like a little backward pass. And watch the moves by Brown. He gets outside and gets a nice block right there.
Yeah, that's probably the most important thing about this. The way that play broke down, it just kind of turned into backyard football, and he got in the end zone. But the big thing was the guys downfield continued to block. So often in high school football, the play kind of goes off track. Guys are standing around watching. Nobody was standing around watching on the offense. They went out and found somebody, and they hit him right in the chest, and they got a score as a result, and here we are.
Jay Vanderjagt in at quarterback for the Blue offense. You know, you said so many times in high school football, I'm sure there's some NFL coaches who'll tell you the same thing about their players. They stop blocking downfield. Here's a throw, incomplete. It's short.
Hey, that's one of the hardest things to coach is get those guys running when the ball's going away. It kind of goes against everything that you are as a human being. Hey, I have nothing to do with this. I'm going to stand here. and these guys, I mean, they're all-star players. They're excited to be here. You know, and that was a perfect example of what can go right when something went wrong.
So 2nd and 10 after the incompletion for the Blue squad, who trails 13-0. And I'll tell you, still far from over, but the feel of the game. Ron, do you have the feeling Blues got to break it open a little bit, open up the offense a little?
Yeah, I'd hate to call this a 13-0 blowout, but
that's what it feels like.
It kind of feels like it. But again, the Blue has done a really great job of moving the ball today. They just haven't found their way in the end zone.
So Vanderjagt throws complete. Drew Greenhaw made the catch. That was a nice little catch by Greenhaw because he was running. He had to contort his body the opposite way to make the catch, but he caught it. It's going to be short of the first down, but definitely more manageable. 3rd and short, looks like about 2.
Yeah, I would expect them. I mean, they do seem to want to throw the ball. That seems to be what they want to do. So I would expect some sort of quick pass. It looks like down here on the bottom, on the gray sideline, the corner seems to be up there playing close because they have attacked quick a lot.
So here's the 3rd down play now. Jay Vanderjagt going to roll a little bit to his right. Throws. He has the first down. Pass is caught.
A great second effort
by Titus McCoy. So McCoy has a first down. He advances the pigskin out over the 50. Or no, they're going to spot it right at the 50.
And I think, you know, again, they're one of those staple concepts in the standard football that just about everybody runs some version of. The outside receiver ran about a 10-yard dig, and the inside receiver ran about a 4 or 5 yard out. And they're watching to see what the linebacker does. If he sits, they throw the flat. If he widens, they're going to throw that dig. And it's a pretty much a win-win situation if you can get the ball in there.
So Mike Vanderjagt throws complete. Good hands on the far side.
A holding call here, I think.
Jalen Gaither made a nice catch, but as Ron said, there is a hanky down on the field. So let's see what they sorted out. And it's like a legal formation.
Oh, it's on the defense.
No, on the defense. Do they have too many guys out there, Ron?
I don't know. I'm not sure what happened. It's a
5-yard penalty. Going to bring up a 2nd and 5. Is that the completion? But nice catch by Gaither. Look at these hands. Wow, pulled it into his body, kept it off the ground. Jalen Gaither out of Redland High School in Pennsylvania, 5'11", 190. Oh, so there's the mark off. So it marks it down to the 40. It's going to be 1st and 10 now for Jay Vanderjagt and the Blue All-Americans. Vanderjagt's going to drop, throws complete, makes a catch. It's McCoy again.
They're continuing to work that same concept. They really want to see what those linebackers are doing. If they're going to work flat, they're going to throw that dig. And and the linebackers have sat. Now that time, what was a little different was they really got the ball quick, though.
So it's going to bring up 2nd and 8. And I'll tell you, Alexander Dawson came up and made the tackle, or that could have been a bigger gain. It's a nice play by Dawson coming up in the secondary to cut down McCoy, or it could have been a bigger gain. So it's going to bring up 2nd and 8. Jay Vanderjagt now, and a pistol combination. Straight ahead goes Kelly Martin. Keeps the legs turning, gets maybe a couple. We got whistles, we got a little extracurriculars down there.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Emotions are getting the better of them.
You know, I'm surprised looking at this offensive line of the blue team before. They have 7 gentlemen with Division I commits.
Well, offensive line, I've always said, people might think I'm crazy, but offensive line and defensive backs are a lot alike, because you have to have this synergy within those groups.
Yeah.
If one guy does something slightly wrong, it makes the whole unit look terrible. It's so, and it's not to say that that's necessarily the case here, but these guys, they've got to come together as a group. They've got to be able to make some calls. They've got to be able to work together, or else it's just not going to work. Because all-star teams don't work on the premise of them being an all-star team. They work on the premise of them being a team.
Vanderjagt got pressured there. We got another flag down. He's pointing downfield, trying to direct traffic over through McCoy. So we'll have to see what the flag is. If this is on the blue squad, I believe they'll decline, and it is, and they do decline it. So that brings up 4th down. So I believe they're going to go for it here, 4th and about 6.
Yeah, I would think so. That would be the wise decision. They haven't been real successful in the kick game. This is a long kick. If they were to attempt that, 6 yards, and they really haven't. I can't see any reason why they wouldn't go for it here.
It'd be over a 50-yard field goal.
Not to mention, these guys are probably going to be pretty geeked up to get after the quarterback. Why not come out right now and give a hard count so you can't get somebody to jump? And they're lining up pretty tight to the ball right now anyway.
So here's the 4th down play. Vanderjagt drops, looks one way, goes the other way. Throws, looks got a receiver, and it's incomplete off his hands.
Another flag down.
Would have had to come down with a 1 catch. Would have been a spectacular catch by McCoy, number 30.
It's probably a defensive holding call based on the timing of when it came out, because the ball wasn't in the air yet.
I see the great team clapping though. But that's not always the case. I've seen that. It's like when there's a fumble, right? And everybody's pointing. Yeah, you can't go by that. The guy in the stripes and the white hat is what counts, and it is offensive pass interference or defensive pass interference.
Is it interference or is it holding?
Interference. He gave the motion for interference.
I didn't see that. The result is the same. The reason I thought it might have been defensive holding, I thought they threw the flag before the ball came out. And in the rules in high school football, and I can't say what exactly the rule is on this for an all-star game, but high school football, if the ball is not in the air, you can hit that guy pretty much legally wherever he's at. There is no 5-yard rule. If the ball is not in the air, you can hit the receiver. If the ball's in the air, that's different.
So here's the 1st down play. Kelly Martin straight ahead. Got across the 20, gets about a couple, maybe 3. Looks like it's going to bring up a 2nd and 7.
Looks like they're getting to be a little more conservative down here in the red zone. They're running the ball a little bit more. Probably not a bad decision, and I think they should probably think about going under center a little bit here and really try to pound that ball ahead.
2nd and 7. Jay Vanderjagt is a quarterback. You see the clock is moving. 8 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter. Still a lot of time in this game. Only a 13. Ron, we kind of lose sight of that because it just doesn't have the feel of being a 13-point game. It seems like a lot bigger margin than that because Blue just hasn't moved the ball. This is a big threat here. There's a throw, and it's complete.
Yep.
Far side. So bring up 3rd and manageable, and that's what you want to do. You want to keep the sticks going, and Jalen Gaither makes the catch.
Little hitch play with, Vanderjagt was able to squeeze that in there pretty well. Good throw and catch by the receiver and quarterback.
So nice throw, and there's a good strong arm, and he threw it only where his receiver, Jalen Gaither, could make the catch, Ron. And
yeah. Threw it to the back shoulder there.
So is this the type of exposure for these kids that maybe if you're a coach, put yourself at the collegiate level, you're looking for a certain position, you're looking for a certain type kid, you may watch this and try to find them?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. In the rules in the NCAA change every single year with regards to all-star games and communicating with high school players. So I know with local high school all-star games like what we have in Pinellas County or Hillsborough County, those games aren't always televised, or they're usually not televised. And
so here's a touchdown attempt to Jacob Miller, and he couldn't make the play, and that was a nice play by number 19, Jarquez McClellan, going to Arkansas. We met Jarquez last night.
Yeah, he's a big kid.
He's going to be something to be reckoned with. So if you're an Arkansas Razorbacks fan, remember that name, Jarquez McClellan.
Yeah, he came up, I think, to get a dry towel, and he was really excited about that.
Oh, he was. And there goes Martin straight ahead. He runs into a wall, and they're not going to make it. I don't think so. Is this another 4th down stop by the gray team?
Like that
was only third. That was.
I think it was 3rd down.
It was 3rd down. They had the down box on 4. Yeah. Why are they confusing?
They're pretty quick. I've watched those guys a couple times a day. They're pretty quick to.
No, it is 4th. See, there you go. It was 4th. So there you go. So 4th down. So the down box was right. Another stop.
And they're taking an official timeout here to reset the chains.
And I know, Ron, that's the second stop, that second kind of goal line stop. I know they weren't that close there, but in the red zone. And one down right on the doorstep of the goal line. Yeah. So 2 big stops. There's your game right there.
Well, the blue team, I mean, they've attempted a couple of field goals. They've been down there close. I mean, the last one was in the first half, they were stopped on the 1-yard line. They have moved the ball. They just can't seem to find their way into the end zone.
So Kenny Stills, the defensive coordinator for the gray team, really has these guys playing. And Kenny Stills, if you remember that name, drafted in '85 by the Green Bay Packers, played 6 years there, coached the Frankfurt Galaxy, Big Ten first team in 1985 with the Wisconsin Badgers. And I'll run down some of the other coaches. The offensive line coach, Jerry Wunsch, Chuck Darby. The running backs coach is Greg Jones, Reggie Young, the defensive backs coach, and Larry Ryans. And Reggie Young with Dry Towel played in the CFL in 1988 out of Akron. He was a 3-year starter for the Akron Zips, and he was a captain for 1 year. Talked to him last night. I'll tell you, I think Reggie can still play.
Yeah.
He looks like he's in good shape, doesn't he?
He looks like he's about 25 years old.
Yeah, I know. Yes, bless him. Yeah, that's what I was thinking last night when he was saying when he played back at Akron. Won't give it away, Reggie. So here's a throw. Connor is in there and has the receiver, and it's caught, and it looks like it's going to be number 11, Ethan Piercy. Had 5 touchdowns on the year for Fort Mill High School up in South Carolina. There's a good look at Piercy. So 2nd and 6 now for the gray squad. And I'll tell you, after playing big defense now as it moves late in the 3rd quarter with a 13-point lead. Handoff straight ahead. And blue is to the task on that. It looks like the ball carrier, Rashid Martin, local kid out of Trinity Christian here in Jacksonville. And Ron, you mentioned, I think at the top that came up.
Yeah, they're Trinity Christian. They're local here in Jacksonville. They're always one of the top teams, regardless of classification in the state of Florida. Typically, you'll see those guys play a national game once a year. I think they played in one of the preseason classics down in Orlando. They're always great. I mean, they're just a great program that they run there. They've it's a small school, and they love football, that's for sure.
And we got a timeout on the field. The gray leads the blue 13-0, 2017 Blue-Gray All-American Bowl from Jacksonville. But we'll be right back. Welcome back to Jacksonville. We're going to go down to Mercedes Owens, who's there with Kirkland McKenzie from the Gray Squad.
That's right. I have Kirkland McKenzie, the all-conference MVP out of North Carolina. How's it going out there today?
It's going well. Having fun out here with the teammates, meeting new people, having a good experience.
Getting some good stops.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Well, okay, I know before you make it to the All-American game, you participate in a combine. Can you tell us about that experience?
It was a good experience. Have new people out there, and oh wait, actually I think it's punt.
Do you have to go back in?
I don't think I do.
We might lose them.
Yeah, yeah, it's punt team. I gotta go back in actually right now.
All right, well the MVP has to get back to work, guys. Back to you.
Thank you, Mercedes. There you go. Hey, that's a football player. His eyes on the field at all times. That's great.
I can tell you right now, as a football coach, I can appreciate that because I know coaching in all-star games, coaching in regular games, doesn't matter. When that stuff's going on in the field, it usually happens with special teams. And it is right here happening with special teams.
Look, he's going in there.
He knew what was going on. That guy is my all-star of the game right there. That's player of the game right there.
Of course, Presley Harvin back in the punt, and there is a high booming spiral. It's going to be returned by Zimmerman from the 30. Zimmerman gets it out over the 40, and I'll tell you, wow, so see, if I'm a college coach, those are things I'm looking at. Here's a kid that's being interviewed to be on ESPN network station, and he's paying attention because he knows he's on the punt team. That was great.
That was awesome.
That was great.
For people watching at home, they may not appreciate that as much as me, but I'll tell you what, that is
as a coach, right?
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was great, and live television here on ESPN3, unbelievable that we captured that moment because that was for real, and he was very concerned about missing an assignment because he's on television. Wow. So Darryl Mack is in that quarterback now. Mack goes back and throws. Mack's throwing downfield. He's going to overthrow everybody, and almost a nice one-handed interception down there. What a play, and it looks like it's going to be Dwayne Parker.
Yeah, he almost had an Odell there.
He did just about quite.
Wow.
Brought it in. Pass was intended for number 84, Braxton McClendon. So that's incomplete. It's going to bring up 2nd and 10. And that was great. That was great. I'll tell you. That was good. That was good.
We've had quite a day. We've had a very excited punter and a kid getting interviewed on the sideline.
Well, he was supposed to be in there. That's going to get us in trouble, the network, man. They're going to go, well, don't take my players. Quinn Gray when they're supposed to be in. So there's a incomplete. Pass looked like it was on the money, short pass, but couldn't hold on, Braxton McClendon. So it's going to bring up. Look at that. We're having a good time. So still got Ron, we still got 4:56 left to go here in the third quarter. A lot of football left. If the blue team, who really, I said they've been ineffective, but they've been on the 1-yard line, got stopped. They were inside the red zone, down inside the 15, got stopped. So 3rd and 10, though, this is a big play here. You got to convert. You got to get close to a first down. Mac's going to drop back, feels the pressure. Mac's going to take off. Mac has some room. He gets out almost to the 50. So 4th and manageable. What do you do? I guess
I think you go for it here.
Well, there's a lot of time.
Defense has played pretty well. It is only 13 points. The Gray team, again, has not really moved the ball tremendously well, even though they have scored twice. I think you go for it here. It's a short 2 yards. It's not even full 2 yards.
So Mac took off, and Connor Landers came up and said, that's enough of that. You're not getting the first down. Cut him down at the 50, but here we go, 4th and 2 from the 50. Darryl Mack is going to roll out to the right. Mack looks downfield. Mack's going to take off, and Mack is short of the first down, and a flag flies from the umpire, which imagines got to be a holding call. I see number 73, Mohammed Al-Azazi, upset there, and he's a big one, 6'6", 310.
There's a couple of behemoths playing in this one.
And another 4th down stop. So that's 3 4th and shorts that the Gray All-Americans have stopped the blue All-Americans. So this defense is playing really good.
Yeah, they're that's gut check time. They're going for it, and to get a stop there at midfield.
Well, look on the camera. Look on the Tyler Estelle 6'1",
Yeah.
365.
I noticed him. They've rotated him in and out all the whole game. I mean, he's built like a bowling ball, and he's putting in his work because he's just moving in and out of the game.
So Ethan Walker in at quarterback now, and Walker hands straight ahead. Pile of humanity in the middle. I didn't even see who it was. He got swallowed up so quick. But he got about 3 yards in a cloud of dust. So there's the big fella. Having a heck of a game. He's been clogging. I mean, you gotta run some serious yards just to go around him.
Oh yeah.
Let alone through him.
He's a whopper.
2nd and 7. Clock's moving. Rick Sassone, Ron Hahn, and Mercedes Owens, bringing you all the action here from EverBank Field, the Blue-Gray All-American Bowl 2017. I will be in Oakland next week at the venue formerly known as the Oakland Alameda Coliseum. Home of the Oakland Raiders. I don't know for how much longer.
Yeah, they're seems like Los Angeles is going to go from having none to having maybe 3.
Well, I can see him in Las Vegas.
Yeah, that's
too,
probably what I would think would happen. And that would be kind of fitting for the Raiders.
Yes, it would. So here's a throw downfield. Walker's going to throw downfield, incomplete. Overthrew the intended receiver for the Gray team. Xavier McLean, was it? Or Terry, Amari Terry was. So Terry's been getting in a lot tonight. So that'll bring up a 3rd and 7 now from the 47-yard line of the blue team.
Looks like they're being very choosy with their play this time, because this could put the game out of reach if they're able to put together a scoring drive here.
With a whole extra quarter left to go.
Oh, yeah.
Got 18 minutes left to go in the game, but I'll tell you, the way the defense has been shutting them down. So Walker back to throw. He's hit, complete, and good tackle comes up to Johari Brown, made the reception. Number 14, Ian Swenson.
Looks like they tried to set up a little screen there with the running back.
So Ian Swenson makes a nice play. Watch Swenson come up and close. Make the tackle. Ian Swenson going to UConn. Randy Edsel back at UConn, right?
Yeah, that was a wild turn of events there.
Yeah, that one. A lot of interesting moves in the coaching world. You see Sean McVay, the youngest coach ever.
Yeah, that was amazing.
The Los Angeles Rams. So 4th and 9. And I'll tell you, this guy is going to be a television star, this Presley Harvin. He's got a lot of airtime.
Oh,
Punter
wow.
going to Georgia Tech, the big fella. He's out there again. I mean, when you punt this many times, I think they've punted more than the blue team, because the blue team turned it over on downs 3 times.
Yep. And they've turned it over down in the end zone.
So Justice Stokes from the 10, and good coverage down there.
And they missed 2 field goals, I think.
By the Gray team. Yeah, wow. So anyway, we'll take a break. The Gray leads the blue 13-0 from Jacksonville. We'll be right back after this quick break. Come back with us. Welcome back to Jacksonville, where the blue team sets up shop, trailing 13-0, deep in their own territory. Here's a handoff straight ahead, positive yardage. There's the offensive line opening up a hole. They get all the way out there. This is Rick Sassone along with Ron Hahn and the third member of our broadcast crew, Mercedes Owens. Mercedes.
Hey guys, I'm down here with Jarquez McClellan and Randall Haney, both headed to college this year. Jarquez, you're going to Arkansas. How exciting is that to say?
It's a blessing because, you know, in the conference win, we play competition every week, so I'm just happy to be in there. I thank God every day.
And Randall, you're headed to Vanderbilt. Tough school there, but it's going to be fun, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, I'm looking for a good time. You know, getting Coach Mason, he's a great guy, and you know, I love all the coaches, all the players. You know, it's making me feel like family there.
And what these two guys have told me is that it is a South Florida thing, and that's why they're getting stops, and that's why the gray team is in the lead. How much fun is it playing in the blue-gray football game?
It's a lot of fun, you know, getting to know everybody. It's a great experience, you know, bonding. Some of these people I might be friends with for life, so you never know. It's a good time, though.
But you have your buddy over here. He came with you, so that always helps. Do you have any good stories for us?
You know, going downtown, sitting down, eating with Hooters, just having good conversations, you know, it's memories that we'll never forget, and I look at him as my brother from now on.
So I think they're fueled by a little bit of fried chicken out there today, and that's what's doing it for the gray team. Thanks so much, guys. Back to you.
Thanks, Mercedes. So there you go. You know, Ron, I mentioned how many times I said it a couple times, friendships for life, and
indeed. Well, they lost me
Randall
chicken
Haney.
wings, I think, actually.
I know. So they're talking about Hooters. Hooters, the gratuitous plug for Hooters on the air today. So it looks like it's going to be, are they measuring or what are they doing here down there? They're going to measure this.
See, I think the refs, they were so quiet in the first half.
Well, I noticed that,
There was one flag, and I think it was on like something real minor. And now they're everywhere in the second half. They're measuring. They're calling their own timeouts.
So here's the measurement now. So the blue team, I mean, they moved the ball. They've been stopped 3 times on 4th and very short. We Believe in Me was founded with a single goal to provide a better education for student athletes along with professional training, including strength, speed, and mental coaching. WeBelieveInMe.org. Go to WeBelieveInMe.org. And it is a blue first down, so that's very important. Keeps the drive alive. So we have just 15 seconds here left in the third quarter. We have to have a measurement 15 seconds before the quarter ends. The sun is back out there. If you see it's getting bright on your screen there, that's because this is the most amount of sunlight we had break through the clouds today.
Yeah.
So here's Butler at quarterback, hands off. Kennard, big hole. And it seems like there's been a lot of big holes today. Or Alec Gold on the carry, number 23.
And that just goes right back to all these big guys on the O-line. I mean, we actually, I think today, and with the 2 offensive lines, I think we've got Army, Navy, and Air Force all represented. We've got a Columbia.
Yeah, we'll get into that when we come back. We're going to take a break. End of the third quarter, 13-0. Gray leads here from Jacksonville.
Oh, you're fine.
It's the start of the fourth quarter here at EverBank Field in Jacksonville. Gray All-Stars still on top with by a score of 13-0. Butler's in at quarterback. Anthony Butler throws out to the sideline as a complete, and nice play on 2nd and 2, Ron. They get the first down.
All they're really looking for in that situation is they've got defensive backs that are playing a little ways off, and they're just throwing uncovered. They're looking and saying, all right, this guy's so far off of me, I can make a play, get the ball out here nice and fast, and that's what happened.
So 1st and 10, ball's on the 38. Butler's a quarterback out of Roman Catholic High School in Pennsylvania. Blue has been stopped 3 times on 4th down. And there's a run straight ahead. And again, it just seems like they have very effective running plays. Joe Menino, number 27 on the carry. And it just seems like they have very effective running plays. And here you see the replay. That's a pretty good size hole to run through, Ron.
Yeah, and I mean, there's these guys, again, you got Army and Navy both represented on this line. You got Kent State, you got Missouri, you got Northern Illinois, you got Kansas State, Columbia, and there's probably a few more that we don't even know about.
So 2nd now and very manageable, 3 yards. Line to gain the 47, and there's Butler. Butler going to run, little option, pitches to Menino. The ball's on the ground. It's loose. There's a scramble for it on the far sideline.
Looks like gray ball.
And the officials are looking to sort it out. I think it's gray ball too. And it is gray ball. So, you know,
that's not one of those traditional staples that you see in all of football. So, options is a great type of game to play, but you have to have so much rhythm in that type of game. You've got to have such a relationship to be able to get that ball out there.
I wanted to say, and that's just an odd type play to run when you've only practiced together for 2 days.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, option teams, it takes a long time for those guys to come together. And to be perfectly honest, you don't really see option football in high school as much these days as you did 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years ago. So these guys are guys that probably haven't done a heck of a lot of it.
Joseph Brunell under center now, offset eye in the backfield. There's a little end around now, and there's big yardage now inside the 30.
You've been looking for it.
And there it is, little trickeration. Is that Amari Terry again? Number 20?
Sure is.
Amari Terry.
Out of Bowles High School here in Jacksonville.
Who finally made the tackle and closed that down? Travian 22, James Hoke. Trayvon Utsey. So Trayvon Utsey, number 29, finally shut that down. And here's another red zone opportunity. There's a nice look of Amari Terry over there. And he's been getting a lot of work today for the Gray Squad. So the Gray Squad back in business now inside the red zone. Joseph Brunell is the quarterback. Brunell, there's a little toss. Quick move on the outside around the corner inside the 10, has a first down. Nice hit. That's number 16, Rashid Martin.
That's a great play, a little power toss action there. Their fullback tight end guy, he's lined up as the 3rd receiver in the bunch, and they pull a tackler guard out, and they bring that guy around. So it's just everybody on the right side of the offense is breaking or blocking down, and except for these 2 guys who are getting out there with the running back, and it didn't look like the blue team really even knew how to line up, let alone defend that play.
So we mentioned earlier that Rashid Martin was a one-time UNC commit, so he's probably more than likely has a heavy interest in the Atlantic Coast Conference, so we'll see where he ends up going. And there's a handoff right back to the line of scrimmage. And it is Martin again. So that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
Well, my guess is they're probably still going to kind of try to hammer this thing home because they have done a great job of running the ball in this series, where with their big long reverse play and then with their little power toss to the outside, I think they need to stick with what works, and their ground game seems to be it right now.
So here's the 2nd and goal play. Brunell, little play action, going to throw to the end zone, and incomplete, broken up. Nice play, broken up by number 9, Rontavius Hughes, intended for number 20, Amari Terry. So nice throw by Brunell, maybe a little late, but Miles Henderson was the intended receiver. So there's Rontavius Hughes. Nice play by Hughes to keep that ball out of the end zone. Let's see, it's kind of gut check time now for the blue team. Still got over 13 minutes left to play. Only down by 2 scores. There's the inside handoff, wrapped up right away. Ball popped up in the air, and then he caught it. It was Caleb Ferguson on the carry. Big number 74 got in there right away. Austin Miller, 268 pounds, fire plug. And there's the nice hit by Miller, and there's the ball pops up in the air. It was up for grabs there for a
Yeah, they tried to run that little trap again. That trap has been kind of hit or miss all day long. It's been a good quick hitter, but they've missed, I think, on that time. 2 of the 4 times they've run it, they've missed on the handoff, and those things just can't happen, and those are the results. Now it's fourth down and goal at the 5-yard line.
And they're going for it, which I would rather see him take the 3 points. You know me, Mr. Conservative.
Yeah, I hear you, but that would make it a 16.2 score ball game.
It's still a 2-score game with 2-point conversions, yes. But you can only go for the 2-point conversion in the final 6 minutes.
My feeling on this sort of thing, and I understand the thought process.
There's a touchdown.
Of why to kick the field goal.
Wide open. Joseph Brunell throws a touchdown.
I understand the idea of why you'd want to kick a field goal right there, but at the same time, the way I look at it as a coach is that if we score a touchdown, we probably put the game out of reach. But on the other side of that, if we don't score the touchdown, they've got the ball on the 5-yard line.
So there's the throw. Caleb Ferguson in the back of the end zone. Rontavius Hughes gave him a little too much space. So now here's the extra point kick by Bryant Wallace out of Rogers, Alabama. Haven't seen an extra point made today, or no, we had one. Yeah, there's the second one, is up and good. So it's 20-0. Gray leads blue. We'll take a break here from Jacksonville. Rick Sassone, Ron Hahn, and Mercedes owns. Welcome back to Jacksonville. Rick Sassone on behalf of Ron Hahn. 20-0. The Gray All-Stars lead the blue. And we're going to take it down. We're going to go now down to the sidelines. Mercedes Owens is with Joseph Brunell.
Yeah, hey guys, Joseph Brunell just threw that touchdown pass, take it up 20-0. What went right in that to make it happen?
Well, that last touchdown pass was good play action. The line's been playing great, and I was just lucky to find that receiver on the pop pass to make a good catch.
You make it look easy, like you guys have known each other forever, but you only have a few days to work together.
Yeah, it's been different learning a new offense, and that short time was kind of hard, but all the guys really helped each other out, and we've made it work.
I know you made your dad proud. We talked to him earlier, and he had some tips for you, but he said he would stay out of it. He would stay with the family instead of go in the locker room. How fun is it to be out here, you know, playing on this field with your dad's name in the stands?
It's pretty cool. I've never done this before, and that's really why I wanted to play in this game, just to kind of relive those moments, and it's pretty awesome.
And now you're headed to Georgetown. That has to be an exciting move for you.
Yes, ma'am. I'm really excited. It's going to be great.
What challenges do you think you're going to face there? Do you think that building relationships and stuff is helping you get ready for that?
Yeah, of course. Just learning this new offense, because I'm going to have to learn a new offense next year. And the only hard thing is going to be getting used to that cold weather. Yeah.
The cold weather is definitely going to be a change of pace. Well, great job out there, Joseph. Now you're almost, well, I think it might be safe to say you're in the running for that MVP spot. That has to be the, you know, just cherry on top of a good day.
Our defense has played great, so I mean, I have to give it to them. Just pitching a shutout right now.
Humble as can be. Thank you so much, Joseph. Best of luck to you out there. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Mercedes, and Joseph Brunell, son of Mark Brunell, getting to play here in the stadium that his father made famous, and his name up on the Ring of Honor, Mark Brunell. So got to be exciting, unbelievable for the Brunell family today. Congratulations to them. So Jay Vanderjagt back in the game, and at quarterback, gets out, points downfield, throws incomplete. Nice ball by Jay Vanderjagt.
Looks like a defensive pass interference on this.
Oh, good. Okay, so there's a first down for the blue team. Like to see, you know, in an all-star game, you kind of get close to both teams. It's been a couple days here, and you would really like to see the blue team get on the board here. In the fourth quarters, it's 20-0 as our score. And there it is. And good job by Vanderjagt to get out there and make the throw and draw the pass interference call.
Yeah, it looked like it was a pretty close call on top of everything else. You know, it looked to me like the kid was just making an aggressive play on the ball and just a little too much.
So the intended receiver was C.J. Hayes. It was incomplete on the pass interference call. Here's 1st and 10 now. Vanderjagt's going to throw, and that ball's almost picked off and probably should have been. And who is out there? Number 25, Marlon Brooks. Boy, he jumped that route, and he was thinking 6, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah. He probably should have just looked it in a little bit more, and we'd be talking about something different right now.
Intended receiver was Justice Stokes on the far side. I didn't quite tell if Stokes didn't come back to the ball or just thrown out there, but good anticipation by Marlon Brooks. Now I come back, here's where I go, offensive court. I come back with the same play, a little pump and go. Get him to jump again. He's going to say, I'm going to catch this one this time and score.
Well, I don't know. I think you put at least one play in between there and give them an opportunity to look at something different and then come back to it.
2nd and 10 play. Vanderjagt's going to drop back and throw, and it's incomplete. It's got to be another pass.
Oh, boy, yep. Yeah.
That was defensive back, never looked back. Jarquez McClellan never looked back.
There is, he must have made contact. It's hard to see from our point of view because there is no face guarding in high school football. And again, I'm not totally sure what the rule is in the All-Star game, but in college and in the NFL, you're not allowed to face guard. And so I'm assuming this is, yeah.
Clearly pass interference.
Yeah.
C.J. Hayes,
if he spins
again,
around, he's got a chance.
The intended receiver. So the story has been Vanderjagt to Hayes a couple times in a row, and they draw a couple pass interference calls, and they're moving the ball now down into gray territory at the 35-yard line. Ivory Kelly Martin back in the game now, the Iowa commit. 1st and 10. There's Vanderjagt's going to throw, and that's going to be high, incomplete, over Anthony Barmer's head.
Yeah, a little wild, little out of control on that pass. Even if it would have been a little bit lower and a little easier to complete, the defense was right there ready to make the stop.
So let's see what they dial up on 2nd and 10. And if you're just joining us, you see the score 20-0, but the blue team has moved the ball. They got stopped 3 times on 4th and short, one of them on the 1-yard line. The other was inside the 15 and one around midfield.
And a couple of missed field goals in there, too.
And a couple missed field goals. So the game should be a lot closer than the score on your screen indicates. Here's Jay Vanderjagt. Gonna go back, throw. He's got a receiver open. He makes the catch. Nice play.
Yeah,
nice
great play
catch.
there.
Goes up. Drew Greenhall makes the catch, and we got a first down. A big pickup for the gray team, or the blue team. We'll put him inside the red zone. Nice throw in traffic, and even a better catch by Greenhall.
Yeah, that took a lot of concentration on everybody's part. That was it kind of threaded the needle on that.
So Jay Vanderjagt moving the team. Got a couple pass interference calls, now a completion. They're in the red zone, the blue squad. And there's a pass to Justice Stokes, and Stokes reached behind him, made the catch. And we got another first down, so it's gonna be 1st and goal for the blue All-American team. Good hands by Stokes.
Yeah, a little timing route, a little slant. Good concentration. Those plays are tough for the receiver because that is the you're running potentially right into traffic, right into the meat of the defense.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, Vanderjagt made a very nice throw. He gave his receiver an opportunity to make a play on the ball, and I know he's probably going to wish he threw it a little in front of him, but still, nevertheless, good throw. So there's Kelly Martin straight ahead. Kelly Martin heading to the end zone, and he's brought down just short of it.
It's a great run.
In case you missed the top of the broadcast, Ivory Kelly Martin, heavily recruited, probably the most recruited player in this game. And here you see, kids see how he gets low and keeps those legs chugging. Good run.
Yeah, he's going to be a great addition to the Hawkeyes.
He was recruited. A lot of Division I offers. Number of conferences wanted Ivory Kelly Martin on their squad. Here he is, straight ahead, heading towards the end zone, and he's got to be in. No signal yet, and they're marking him short.
Yep.
So, boy, this gray defense has been stout today, especially in short yardage, Ron.
Yeah. I mean, this is probably about the 14th or 15th play down there.
Micah Bird Brown gets in there, was one of the first to hit him.
Oh, I'm not so sure he wasn't in.
I thought he was. I don't know. We got a goal line camera, I guess. It's a bigger level. We'd have that camera right on the goal line, and we get a look, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. One of those fancy pylon cams.
Oh, those things. I get dizzy sometime when I see that view from home. So here we go, 3rd and goal. Can the blue squad break the shutout? Vanderjagt. Oh boy, is this going to be a false start? Flag is on the ground. It's a legal substitution. Too many guys in the huddle, and I see number 7. You know, now that's something we haven't seen close to all game, and you think that maybe you would in an all-star. So we got 12 guys on the field, and there you see them. If you want to count from your living room, can count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Well, it probably would have worked.
It may have worked. So there you go. Clock's moving. We are in the 4th quarter. Rick Sassone, Ron Hahn, and Mercedes Owens bringing you all the action from EverBank Field, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Great to be here on a Saturday afternoon. Vanderjagt back to throw. He's got a receiver. He throws. It's caught. Touchdown. Number 16, Drew Greenhall gets in the end zone from Muscatine High School in Iowa. Greenhall. And you know what? I'm happy for the blue squad. They broke the shutout, and they're in the end zone. So here's a replay. Nice design play, Ron.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, they've stuck with these route combinations for the most part all day. These flat breaking routes at about 4 or 5 yards and a 10-yard in-breaking dig route, and all they're doing is taking a look to see what that force defender, that flat defender does. He has to make a decision. Does he sit, or does he draw, or does he go flat?
So there's a break in the action now. The Blues on this board. They still trail 20-7. We'll take a break. We'll be back with the kickoff right after this. Florida EverBank Field on the bank of the St. Johns River. Rick Sassone, Ron Hahn, Mercedes owns, bringing you the 2017 Blue-Gray All-American Bowl. And here's the kickoff. Looks like it's going to be Terry. Terry's going to take it out past the 20, and he's smacked down. Special teams tackle.
Yeah, great tackle there, right there in space. That kid had a full head of steam when he finally got hit.
Here's the touchdown now. Vanderjagt throws to Greenhawn. Greenhawn able to stretch that ball out like these kids do so well nowadays.
Well, you know, we have so much 7-on-7 in high school football that, you know, I mean, I can't speak for other states like Iowa where he's coming from, but I know here in Florida that we're gonna roll the footballs out here in about another 2 weeks. And I mean, we're doing all kinds of football stuff that we weren't able to do 15, 20 years ago.
So Ethan Walker now in at quarterback, or no, Connor Curry, I should say. So the gray team leads 20-7. You see there on the score, and I'll tell you, glad to see the blue team get on the board. But this contest a lot closer. Like I said, it was a feel of a blow, but it really wasn't.
Yeah. No, these guys, it's been, again, I've said it all day, the blue team has done a great job of moving the ball. They just haven't found their way into the end zone, and until right there. Honestly, this could be a 27-20 football game if it just went just a little different.
So here's Curry's going to hand off now. Little stutter stuff. Johari Brown gets tackled for a loss of yardage as there was nowhere to go outside. Good defense coming up. Mike Repa coming up from his linebacker position to make the tackle.
We'll see how this thing closes out if the gray team goes ultra conservative and really tries to wind the clock. I mean, there's only about 7 minutes left, but again, we're coming up at a point to where if the blue team's able to score, they're going to legally be allowed to onside kick inside of 6 minutes if I am remembering that rule correctly. So this thing could get a little crazy here at the end, which I think it was kind of what happened last year too, if I'm not mistaken. There was some real there was a lot of scoring late.
There was another tackle for a loss, so it's going to bring out the punt team. The big fella will be back out, Presley Harvin. If you're just joining us, it's going to Georgia Tech, the punter for the gray team. 6 foot 230, big, excitable fella.
The most excited player on the field.
Yeah, I know. So 4th and 16. Bring up the punting unit, and back deep, Justice Stokes is the deep man. There's a high kick, and the up guy is going to take it, Jared Zimmerman. Zimmerman has it out over the 50, tries to put a move on, and he's wrapped up.
Going to start off in real good field position here with just on about the 48-yard line, give or take. We'll see what this blue team, see if it's got a little life in it, see if they can make something happen. And again, I think if we see a touchdown scored, I think we're probably going to see an onside kick not too far after that.
Well, we're going to take a break here from Jacksonville, but we'll be right back with you. Blue looking to get on the board again. Oh, really? Connor Curry? I have Ethan Walker 15 and Connor Curry 17. Okay. So who's 15? Who's 17? Walker 17.
This, I've got that buzz back, that high-pitched squeal. Okay. Yeah, I can deal with it. It's hard. I can't hear much.
Welcome back, and there's a look at number 15, Connor Curry. We owe an apology to Connor Curry. We had the numbers switched around on my roster up here in the booth, so I apologize to both Ethan Walker, there he is, and Connor Curry. Great shot, guys. You got both of them in the shot. I love it. So apologies to both those guys. Connor Curry is 15, and Ethan Walker is 17, and Curry getting a lot of college looks, so I'm sure we'll see him playing on Saturdays. So now in at quarterback, I know this is number 21, Daryl Mack, back in for the Blues squad. And, you know, with just under 6 minutes left to go, we got a flag, a false start. The blue team, if they get on the board here, like you said, Ron, you kind of set it up an onside kick. We could end with an exciting finish here.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I mean, it's the most exciting play in football, and I mean, I think the blue team has momentum. They played great on defense. They got great field position. I mean, no reason why they can't go right down the field and score right here.
So Mack going to look down the field. He's got some pressure, gets out of it. There's a pass that's thrown complete with some running room down the sideline. Skips out of bounds. Number 17, Jacob Miller.
Well, what they try to do over here on the right-hand side of the offense, they try to set up a little jailbreak screen to number 12, and they looked that way. They took it away, and then he just kind of changes the play up, and they weren't covering the guy on the other side. Big 20-yard play.
And I got to make mention, a really good block by Nicholas Novak, number 77, to give a little extra time to Daryl Mack, and he's that Navy guy we talked about. So
yeah,
going to Navy,
congratulations.
congratulations.
You gotta love those military academy guys.
Yeah,
I have one of those guys that play for me right now, and it's, I'll tell you what, they're the heart and soul.
There's a pass complete for a first down, and a big hit coming up in the secondary by number 36, Alexander Dawson. They do mark it short, okay. So Dawson with the big hit, laying the lumber. Boom, that's a big time hit. That's going to transfer to the next level.
Yeah, that's
Alexander
the biggest
Dawson.
hit of the game.
Yeah, Dawson's made a couple nice plays out of Albany, Georgia. 5'9", 173 pounds, can flat out fly. So here's the second and short play.
Oh, false
and we got a false start.
It's like he thought about it for a second and then just go ahead and finish the penalty.
So that'll back them up 5 yards, the blue team. And I'll tell you, the teams were really disciplined in the beginning. And there you go. I mentioned his name, Nicholas Novak. And it looks like he was the one that might have jumped there. So.
Yeah, he kind of rocked back in his stance. Looked like they were probably going to throw the ball there because he was moving backwards. And, you know, those things happen. These guys haven't played football in probably 2 months by this point.
Mack rolling out. Mack throws. He got a receiver and incomplete. Can't hold on. Looked like Greenhaw was the intended receiver again, number 16. And it's incomplete. So now that brings up a third and kind of long. So, boy, those, 5-yard penalties.
Oh, it's a killer. They go from a very manageable short 1.5 yards to a 6 or a 7 yard third down situation. So these are the things that you really don't want to have to deal with from a sideline standpoint.
Totally changes your playbook.
Oh, completely.
Here's the pass.
Wow.
We got a catch, and we do. We got a catch there.
Looked like that was kind of a blown coverage there because there was one guy just turning and booking for a guy he was, I think he was supposed to be covering.
Jared Zimmerman went down and dug that out. Let's take a look at that. Nice catch. Ooh, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit of a mismatch as far as looked like you have a big linebacker on a little receiver.
Snaps on the ground, but Mack does a nice job of handling it. Mack's going to throw and just throw that away. Very good, intelligent football play there, throwing the ball out of bounds. I don't think, and maybe the novice fan, maybe those of us that are a little more, don't appreciate how much that play is a good play, especially there on first down. Now we're going to go down to Mercedes Owens, who's down on the field, who has one of the great players.
Yeah, hey guys, I'm down here with Sam Beltman, tight end. He's local to Florida, but he's never been to this arena. You never played here. How's Jacksonville? How's this experience treating you?
It's awesome. I mean, I really like it here. It's fun playing on NFL Stadium for sure.
And what do you think about blue-gray football in general?
It's a really good experience. I really like the fact that it's a whole bunch of NFL coaches, and they really, throughout the whole experience, you get to learn.
And Sam, you're waiting until signing day to commit to a school, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
So you get to really just take in this moment. It's your last game as a senior. Yeah. Have you met any new friends out here?
Yeah, there's a couple of local teams that came up here, a couple of my friends, so I've got a chance to know them a little bit and meet some new guys.
Now you have a chance to take some pressure off of yourself for a little bit before you make that tough decision. Where are your offers?
Right now it's Miami, Ohio, Warner University, and University of Idaho.
Then you definitely have some tough decisions to be making.
Yes, ma'am.
Does your mom want you to stay here, Miami? Yeah.
Yeah.
Moms always do. They always want you to stay. Well, Sam, best of luck to you out there today, and, well, we'll look for you on Saturdays.
All right, thank you.
Take care. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Mercedes. Sam Veltman, local kid to our neck of the woods.
Yep, plays for Coach Buchanan, Mark Buchanan over at Indian Rocks Christian. One of the best small high school programs in Pinellas County, Tampa Bay area. So I'm sure they're real proud to have him over here representing them well in this game.
So it was intended for C.J. Hayes in the end zone. Daryl Mack's pass, and it was broken up by Hassan Hamiel from Southwest Edgecombe High School in North Carolina. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 10 now. The line to gain is the 5. Clock winding down here, but if they can get a score, get on the board here, and then it's going to set up that onside kick. So this is a big play. Of course, 4-down territory, but you want to make it manageable on 4th down. You don't want to have 4th and 10. So Mack takes the snap, drops. Mack looks. Mack throws. He had an intended receiver, just threw it low to C.J. Hayes.
Great protection by the offensive line. Gave him all the time in the world. And you know those guys are geeked up and ready to get after the quarterback, and that O-line gave him all the time in the world.
So another 4th down try for the blue team. They were stopped 3 times, but it was 4th and short, so maybe 4th and long will be the charm here. 20-7, Gray. It's been in control most of the game.
Well, from a standpoint of what the defense is looking at, they don't have any idea what's coming. You could throw anything in the world at this defense right now, and
so pointing down the field, Vanderjagt throws, and it's incomplete, broken up.
And there's a flag up at the over on the blue sideline.
Marlon Brooks was back there on the coverage.
So we might get another play here.
So way over, there's 2 flags down.
Yeah,
actually.
I'm not sure what that could be, unless it's an illegal procedure of some sort. I mean, it was nowhere near the ball being thrown.
So holding. And a holding, so we're going to replay the down. So offensive holding, defensive holding. So the blue will get another play. Pass in the end zone was intended for Justice Stokes. Now we'll see what the offensive coordinator, Arlen Harris, for the blue team draws up as Jay Vanderjagt is in at quarterback. He threw the last attempt that was incomplete. With the offsetting penalties, even if it was a touchdown, we would have replayed the down. So here's the 4th and 10 play from the 15-yard line. Vanderjagt drops, looks, being flushed out of the pocket, throws, incomplete, out of bounds, and he had him. He had the short guy too, and that's going to bring up a turnover on downs. Anthony Balmer made the catch, but he was well out of bounds. And there's Cole Brown trotting off the field, giving chest bumps and all that good stuff. And what a great time, this Blue-Gray All-American Bowl. And as I mentioned, so here's the blue All-Star commitments. And there you see a few of the players that we talked about.
It's nice to see that there's, we've heard a lot of talk about the Mid-American Conference. Love to see those guys in there. It's a great little conference up there with Miami and Ball State. And
big run out over the 30-yard line, busting it out. number 16, Rashad Martin. And here's the replay, and Martin got some good blocks and broke a tackle, made another move and got out a good gain out over the 30-yard line to the 32. And number 17, Ethan Walker, is in at quarterback, or no? 15, Connor Curry is back in at quarterback. And here's the blue all-star commitments, and you see going to some big schools there. There's Isaac Hahn, Ron, going to Northern Illinois. He has your namesake.
Yeah, no relation, but yeah, that's awesome. Northern Illinois, another great MAC program. Kent State's in there. Like I said, you love to see the academy guys with Army, Navy, and Air Force all being
There's your trick
in this game.
play, and it's caught across the 50 and going to the end zone. The halfback pass is going to go to number 20, Amari Brown, or Amari Terry, I should say. And there you go. There's the trickeration, and I was expecting that from the blue squad. Boy, I guess in all-star games there's not any payback, but a nice pass thrown under pressure to Amari Terry, and Terry was off to the races, his second touchdown of the game. Kind of bookend touchdowns. He scored early in the first quarter on a tip ball, and now he scores on a half-pack option pass.
Yeah, he's been all over the place today. I mean, he's touched the ball a ton, and he's he's been probably had the most highlights in this game so far.
So here's Wallace, Bryant Wallace on, and he bangs the extra point through. And here's the touchdown again. And there's the pitch, and what a nice throw by Rashid Martin. And you got to think, under pressure too, and Terry was just off to the races showing that speed again. And you got to think maybe Rashid Martin played a little quarterback in high school, you know.
Yeah, probably. I mean, that's one of those things where sometimes you just got to put your best athlete in the position where he touches the ball the most.
And there's a good look at Terry and Martin on the bench together. They just hooked up, and he's saying, man, nice pass. Laughing, smiles, and that's what it's all about. So 27-7 is our score. Blue team's going to get the ball back. Just about 2 minutes left to go in the game, and really, what an enjoyable weekend, Ron, here in Jacksonville. Great host city. Enjoyed coming here, staying on the river. So back is Justice Stokes, number 11, and Jared Zimmerman. They've been back there on all the kicks for the blue team. Bryant's going to tee it up. See if they can get a good return here. Maybe get another threat. And this Stokes around the 8. Stokes gets out and tripped up. Nice play. Let's see who that is. Number 45 makes the tackle. Tanner Brenneman. Canto, Ron.
Yeah, local just north of Tampa.
Tampa kid, sure. So down there making the tackle. So first and 10, the Blues team will set up here. Try to move the ball, and Daryl Mack is in at quarterback. Oh, no, it's Anthony Butler. Butler drops the ball, picks it up, and he's going to run with it. Gets a first down. So Anthony Butler is a quarterback out of Roman Catholic High in Pennsylvania. So a little hurry-up offense now, and this has got to be difficult, a hurry-up offense on 2 days of practice.
Well, I would assume that they probably just have 2 or 3 plays that they're running, and they probably had a series in practice every day to be able to practice this a little bit. But
there's a throw, and it's caught by Ivory Kelly Martin. What a nice throw by Butler. Gets it out over the 40-yard line to the 47. Hustling up is that big offensive line, and they're ready to go as we set the sticks and move it. Clock starts moving. Here's Butler. Butler's going to throw, and he's got another completion to Martin on the sideline. And we're going to go down to Mercedes Owens on the sideline, who's with Amari.
That's right. I'm right here with Amari Terry. 2 touchdowns today. It looks like you are vying for that MVP trophy. Is that what you're doing out there?
Yes, ma'am. My intention is to come out here, play the best I can, and God's helping me out with that right now. Yeah.
Well, you're doing good. Your team's up by 20 points. That's a solid lead. Talk about your teammates and being able to come out here today and really just put things together.
It was a great 2 days we had together. Sitting in the hotel, we talked, hung out, and we learned much about each other. And I think we built that trust, and that's what helped us out today.
Yeah, and you have a decision to make before signing day, right? Where are you headed? Where do you think?
I have 2 more officials. I took one to the Army, I have one to the Air Force, and one to Sanford. So I'll see after that.
Definitely a tough decision there. Okay, well, game's almost up. Only time will tell. You may be the Blue-Gray Football All-American Bowl MVP. Great job out there today. Thanks so much, Amari.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Mercedes, thank you. And Amari Terry, yeah, he's got my vote. 2 touchdowns, Ron. What do you think?
Absolutely.
So Justice Stokes makes the catch, and the Blues threatening here. They don't want to go away now with only 40 seconds left to go. Or Drew Greenhaw with the catch.
And those Academy guys, the Academies are being really represented strong in this. He mentioned Army and Navy.
So Butler's going to take off. Another flag flies.
Not a lot of time left. Let's see what.
So here's the Gray All-Stars and their commitments. See Joseph Brunell going to Georgetown, talk to him, and Adam Buselli, the namesakes in the stadium. You see some of the other commits that we talked about. So, hey, Marlon Brooks going to Ohio.
Yeah.
Going to play with Louis Zervis.
Yep, my old kicker. #1 kicker in the country as a freshman.
#1 kicker in the country as a freshman. The Ohio Bobcats, Louis Zervis, coached in high school by Ron Hahn, the one and only. Yeah, good.
Yeah, it looks like they got the ACC, the SEC represented. They've got the MAC represented in that group, the Patriot League.
So 2nd and 8 now from inside the 20. Butler throws complete, makes the reception, Jalen Gaither. So Pennsylvania to Pennsylvania, Butler to Gaither. And we got a timeout, blue team, and with just 8 seconds left to go, and this would be a good time to thank everybody. I want to throw a special thank you out to Sean Solinsky and the Blue-Gray All-American Bowl staff for having us back this year, Ron. And a big thank you out to our producer, Josh Littlejohn, with Tupelo Raycom, bringing you all the action on ESPN3 and ESPN3 for hosting our broadcast today. And our spotter, Nick Sassone, up here in the booth with us. I want to thank him and everyone else that worked on this broadcast, and especially you and Mercedes for being my broadcast partners today.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Having me back. This is a lot of fun. It's not the normal job for a high school PE teacher and football coach, but I get to go home and tell people I'm on ESPN, and I get to be big time for a few minutes.
Well, the knowledge you have in the game just amazes me. So I really appreciate you coming along. So let's see if the Blue can add the Maybelline score, that cosmetic score. It's one of my Rickisms.
I've heard that one.
Oh, I say it, yeah. So there's a pass, and it's complete and plowing straight ahead. Looks like #7, Anthony Barmer, makes the catch. Barmer's out of bounds, and the clock's going to run out. And that's the final here. Blue-Gray All-American Bowl 2017 for Ron Hahn, Mercedes Owens. I'm Rick Sassone. I'm Rick Sassone. We're saying so long for Jacksonville, where the final score is Gray 27, Blue 7. To watch this entire game on replay, as well as other games on our family of ESPN networks, log on to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. Thanks everybody for watching. This has been a presentation of ESPN.